Hey yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to Reckless Reviews here on Knowledge and Relationships with your boy M3 and the Sophisticated Jerk. We usually have Stan Lee in the building, but Stan had to do some slave work behind the scenes. So, uh, he'll definitely be missed, and his quotes will definitely be missed as far as being misinterpreted. So, but how you doing, Sophisticated Jerk?
Man, I'm doing good, man. Definitely doing good. How about you, man?
Oh man, life is good, man. No complaints at all about it. So I'm just chilling like a non-villain, man, until I become one.
All right, all right. Yeah, and I've been excited to do this one, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Now, man, this is gonna be pretty great because here's the thing, right? Shout outs to Anton Daniels. This is like my first actually live of actually doing any reaction to him or even speaking on his name. So I know a lot of content creators usually like to take advantage of using Anton Daniels' name, but this is something that you can't really miss,
Yeah,
especially when
facts.
this guy. And look, I'm gonna try not to be biased, but I already know what team I'm rooting for. So um, versus the guy that's called Yada Awakening. But shout out to Bruiser, man. Like Bruiser is definitely in the building. One of the first
What's
guys to
good,
actually tune
Bruiser?
in.
Yeah, and he
So
did a excellent recap on this, man.
mhm.
So, man, he be doing some great editing in his videos, great content, man. Came in the game with him, man. Stand up guy, man. He's getting to that bread too. So, definitely part of the fam, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, look, man, let's go ahead. We're gonna just jump into the video, and hopefully, more people when they wake up, they'll be able to tune in or catch some of the recaps. But let's
Yeah,
go
no
ahead. We're
doubt.
gonna play this in fair use. It was on a podcast on Harley Initiated to kind of provide a little bit of context, right? Because see, when I do my, our reactions, I like to not watch the whole entire thing because I like for my reactions to be authentic. But I had to see like a little bit of something, right? So the debate is basically pretty much modern dating and relationships in 2024. Should men pay all the bills for the women? So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna check out because one person has an opinion where you should pay all the bills and give more, and the other person is more on reality based stuff. So, anyways, let me go ahead and just play it.
But before you play it, it's hell
Mhm.
no for me.
Hell no, hell
Hell
to
no.
no.
That should be no expectation. God damn it.
You know what? Before I hold on, salutes to the intellectual soapbox. What up, Mr. Best? Thank you for
Mr.
tuning in.
Best in the building.
The best of the best, man. Um, I ain't gonna lie. I was watching some of the clips, man, and I'm not saying I almost got sucked into it, right? But I could see how like his words could be a little bit almost believable for in an emotional aspect, right? But at the same time, it's so unrealistic because you're speaking on the 1 to 2% men, and even those type of men has to be on guard with their wallet. So I don't know. It's not a life that I would like to live, you know. And it's not a woman that's worth even trying to please. So yeah, that's my 2 cents into it.
No, good point. I'm gonna jump back to that point once we start watching this because that's an excellent point, and I do want to cover that, but
All
we'll,
right,
we'll we'll hold off a little bit.
all right, for sure. Oops, hold on. Let me. Hmm. Hold on for a second. Okay, think it was on mute. All right, fair use, everyone, and definitely subscribe to a Harley Initiated and subscribe to like the knowledge and relationships, man, sophistication, and even the YouTubers that you see right now. All right, let's go.
Straight into the trailer.
We've been lied to. Most men are triggered because they gotten comfortable allowing women to provide for them.
Never ever marry a woman or look to get in a relationship with a woman that is a single mother.
The women that agree with going 50-50 with the man are women that's never had a real man.
You don't want people to be with you just because you have resources.
How can you expect her to work just as hard as you, come home, nurture the children, cook for you, have sex with you?
You can't keep the nigga that impregnated you. What makes you think that we want to hear your opinion?
That's a hell of a production, though, man. That intro
There
is
you
kind
have
of
it,
ill, man.
family. Welcome to Hardly Initiated.
Let me
it is your
let me
host.
pause real quick. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I was just saying, man, that's a hell of a production. They did their thing on that one, man.
Oh yeah, definitely for sure, man. Like I like introductions like that because it builds that anticipation, man, and it builds just without going to detail. It gives a little preview of the context of where both people stand at. So
Yeah, I did a good job on it.
Hardly Initiated for that, man. All right. On the side note, man, if anybody knows a comedian named Tony Baker, man, the guy to the left looked like him. So
Yeah, he do.
Tight Sean Jackson in the building with my co-host Ryan Ketchens.
About to go
And
crazy
today,
tonight.
we have done something special.
Facts.
Ryan, I haven't been this excited about a show in a long time.
I want to be honest, man. We was probably talking about this for the last few weeks at least.
Absolutely.
I'm getting Boyce Watkins jumping in the comments. MTR hitting us. I'm getting text from my mom saying, "Hey, y'all don't go too crazy tonight." So I already know it's about to be incredible matchup to say the least.
Oh, to say the absolute least, man. The energy in the studio is incredible.
Yeah.
The comments, the chats, the emails are popping off because we got two of some of the most influential brothers online sitting at the exact same table here in Atlanta, Georgia, in Hardly Initiated Studios today. If you're ready, drop a ready in the chat right now because it's about to go down. We got my brother Yada Awakening, and we have my brother Anton Daniels coming straight in from the D at Hardly Initiated today, and it is going down. Let me know if the sound is good in the chat, fellas. If the sound is good, ladies and gentlemen, let me know in the chat real quick.
Right. Shout out to all the initiates joining us tonight, guys. I want you to go ahead and drop who you think will win tonight's debate in the chat because we got NDBA in the building. Absolutely. We got the bag chasers in the building. And, man, we got to kick it off.
And we got the initiates here in the building.
The initiates go crazy always.
As well. And
shout out to the initiates.
Yeah. Look at these fellas, man.
Absolutely.
I'm ready.
Absolutely. So let's actually start here because some people, they may not be familiar with the individual sitting at the table. So what I want to do is slightly familiarize yourself with their talking points, with their stances, what they standing on. And let's actually start here with my brother Yada coming straight here out the A. Thank you so much for coming up here and joining us today. Yada was very serious about wanting this to be
it figures now where the source of pander is coming from.
Because it's a lot of important conversations happening online, and I want to bring some clarity. All right, with brothers with two different philosophies sitting here today, we're going to bring some clarity. Let's play a clip to familiarize people with the brother Yada.
When a man says, "Where's the good women at?" that translates, I'm a feminine man looking for women to take care of. Masculine men bring the femininity out of any woman around them. How can you move into a woman's own and not remove her worries? You don't love her. You're leeching off of her. Now she's depressed. This is why she lost respect for you. At minimum, a man should have $300,000 US in savings account. 50,000 of that goes to your new bride. Before y'all get married here, I love you. Here's 50,000. The other 50,000 go on a deposit of your new family house.
Hold on. There we go.
That's strong. There we go. Philosophy there.
Just giving them a piece of
just the taste.
Just the taste. Because I want you to understand this is the and look at Anton, bro. First of all,
Off the rip, man. Off the rip. Yeah, my man promoting tricking heavy. Like that. What he say, 50,000 to?
Yeah, so 50,000 to your new bride, and then he said another 50,000 probably like once like you guys seal a deal, get married, and then of course he speaks more. He speaks more of it, right? Which that is pretty much like a lump sum of amount, and then you spend money like cash money to pay for your home.
So I like how they did the clips on there because, man, yeah, I like how they, like you were saying earlier, man, how they capture like their viewpoint. So already, man, this is a dude that like, just looking at his like short clips and stuff, this is a dude that like pretty much pedestalizes women. Like I said, he's also a trick. And then, you know, the fact that he feels like he has to pay that money, it reveals a lot about his mindset where he don't have no charm, no charisma. He's really not good with the women. So, I mean, off the rip, if you got to do those type of tactics, you damn near like trying to pay for that submission. So that's why that's good. They show that clip because it's showing like his positioning and why he feels his way. So definitely tricking on that category. But shout out to Anton and them for spotting that. Anton cracking up.
Right.
But also, I wanted to give a shout out to them because they came up there clean, man. You know, Yada had the suit on, so I got to give him credit for that. Anton had the Coke white shirt on, so they came up there clean.
Yeah, they came out very presentable, and they was ready to stand on their word. So, no complaints on that part. I will say this though, there are like little like small snippets and clips from Yada, right, as he's breaking more things down as far as certain resources, certain reasonings, and also too, if this is not really presented in this video, right, one thing I think I'm learning is that Yada is Muslim and Anton Daniels is, definitely obviously Christian, based off their religious beliefs and backgrounds. So I'm not for sure if Muslims have that type of mindset.
Ain't nobody be promoting no tricking. I can't even do that to the Muslims. They don't be promoting that nonsense.
All right, well, shout outs to the Nation of Islam, man. So no disrespect to you guys, but I just wanted to be sure, man, because your boy's trying to represent you guys in a certain type of light. So thank you for clarifying that. Let's go ahead. We're going to continue playing the video.
I gotta get the view here, the brothers, Lano. Let me see both faces. Yeah. We gotta I need to be looking at these brothers the entire show.
For the whole show.
The entire show. We need to see these brothers' faces here. Okay? And I also...
You're a funny guy. Hilarious.
And, Anton is equally as influential as he's been online for, it's close to it. Is it close to a decade now, Anton?
Yes, sir.
I was looking at some old videos, man. I think we see one video you was in a motorcycle headed to like a abandoned station.
You gotta give people the journey. You can't just show up one day and then have some type of philosophy, because I think that's what happens with preachers, right? That's what happens with people that finesse the community. That's what's happening with our political landscape. So I think that, if anybody that understands spirituality, anybody that understands their word, you'll know them by their fruits. Anybody can say anything. Anybody can sell anything. But very few people actually can show you the receipts without just talking about it. The talking is the cherry on top, right? The receipts is the reflection of what you really are.
We'll stop at this point, right? A lot of us like young YouTubers. Like, I think for me, like when I started Knowledge Relationships, this was like in 2020. So it's easy for me to remember that, this is like the 4-year mark. However, a lot of us probably, when we come into this YouTube space, a lot of us probably have an expectation of having instant growth overnight or be successful within maybe the minimum of 1 or 2 years. But this is a guy who developed a platform for a whole entire decade, which it shows like a lot of dedication, and assumingly you had to go through a lot of trial and error to even have this wisdom to really speak on. Again, I'm not just trying to constantly give praise to Anton, but I'm just trying to point out the obvious, It takes a lot of time and work, man, to really build your craft. And sometimes, maybe that 9th year, you're not doing well, but probably once you reach to that 10th year, is probably when you're going to really have an audience that's going to be well developed and supporting you hard body. So
Yeah, no, I'm glad he spit that out because like you were saying, it's just like, man, that process, that's what builds character, and that's what people a lot of times they want to look for the shortcut where it's like, okay, what message is resonating with everybody else, and let me jump on that bandwagon. Versus like what Anton's saying, like in what you was pointing out, it's just like, hey man, you go out there, you do stuff, and you got to be doing it for the right reason. Money might not be involved, like he said. If he's been doing it for 10 years, he didn't start really popping until the last couple of years. So he's showing like, hey man, I was dedicated to this process even when money wasn't there. So it's coming from like I say, a more genuine state versus somebody that's like, oh shit, I see money in this game. Let me jump in. Let me hop in it, and let me just start echoing everything everybody else says when you don't deeply, believe the shit. So it's almost like I like how he's capturing. He's like, hey man, this been a process. I didn't just jump in this game and and just starts, taking the easy route. So now I'm glad you brought that out.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go ahead and.
So that's what I advocate for, and
Okay.
he already gave you a bit of what he's standing on here in his philosophy. But for those of you who may not be familiar, let's go ahead and familiarize them real quick. Go ahead and roll the clip, Lama.
They lied to us. They told us happy wife, happy life. They raised their daughters into being feminists. They lost control of their households. Under no circumstances should you ever become a stepfather. Don't let them shame you because you got preferences. Never, ever. You won't be a stepdaddy daddy and take on a family that's not yours. That's not in your best interest. And that's not what the Bible says.
Shouldn't you be able to keep that impregnated you? You telling me that even don't even want to be bothered with you? He'd rather pay child support and leave than sit there and be up under your thumb. And we supposed to take you serious.
There you have it. Just a piece.
Just
a piece.
Now, Yada, you had quite the reaction on that one.
That is comedy.
And don't even worry, because we're gonna get into these conversations in just a few. Okay. For those of you who want to understand here, by the way, what's going down, we bringing these two men of opposite views to the table here, again, to have the most important conversations that's prevalent right now on the internet with these two men. So I'm very excited to have this here happen.
Right.
They're both husbands. Okay, just clear. They are both fathers, and they're both leaders of their own communities.
Let me drop the rules on this real quick, guys.
Let's do it.
Don't forget, we are live every Monday and Wednesday at 8 p.m. Tashawn and I, now this is the thing. This upcoming Wednesday and next Monday, actually, guys, there's no show. So we're taking a couple of days off, and we are returning next Wednesday. We got
skip a little bit till they get to the
it's like her
actual
third or fourth time
topic.
coming back to
Or
the
you want to play
platform, and she is bringing
Yourself. Because that's not man. Is that because
Go back a little.
Okay, because this is one of the most polarizing conversations a lot of brothers out here
all praises due
to cover 100% of the bills, and a lot of other, and the
All right,
ladies
so I think this is the
are
part.
saying that this
Yeah,
is
this
a
good right
must.
here.
I must get a brother to cover 100% of the bills. So let's bring some clarity to this, Yada. I'm gonna have you open up the conversation here. Should men be expected to cover 100% of the bills?
First, I want to
All
say,
right, here we go.
all praises due to the Most High, and I want to pray real quick if you don't mind.
Let's go.
In the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful, strengthen me and guide me, allow God to speak through me, allow to rectify the room and remove all dusty demons from the table. All praises due.
Anton ain't having it. Look at Anton's face.
All praises due to God.
when you're off the chain.
Hey, I got. I'm sorry. This is funny, right? Because shout outs to like the passive shady church prayers, right? You know how like you have like those little family prayers, and you still mad at your brother or sister or whoever that you're mad at, and you're giving thanks to the Lord, but at the same time you throwing shade at this, at the
You taking that
person.
fight?
Yeah, you know what I mean. So shout out to all those type of prayers, man. So he did bring it back. Let's go ahead.
What's the question, brother? What's the question?
The question is,
What's the question?
should men be expected to cover 100% of the bills?
I believe if men are claiming to be providers, and we know that means to take care of whoever's under you, that he should provide 100%. While we're doing this, this gives the woman time and space, not just to be great for the man, but also great for the children. And I want to use myself for example. I provide 100% for my woman. My son, he's only 5 years old, and he was tested 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. 2 days ago, he's only in kindergarten, but he tested at a 4th grade level. Why is that? Because I handle my responsibility, providing
M3,
isn't
pause
just
real quick.
financial.
Gotcha.
Any man off the street can walk.
Now I was just, and I'm not trying to sound mean, but how do you test for a 4th? What did you say? Like a 4th grade level?
Yeah, like
I mean, what are you drawing in the lines or something? Because I I'm just thinking back, like at 4th grade, like you're not doing mathematics or something like that.
Yeah, I think what he's trying to say is that because of his financial contribution to his wife and his family, that everything, well, mostly his wife, everything is a trickle down effect. Basically, what he's trying to say is like, when you have the resources that your wife has, where she's totally stress free, and she's a stay at home wife, and she could do whatever that she want to do. Hell, she could probably fuck or sleep a whole bunch of men. That's all I know, right? From whatever his mindset is at. It's like happy wife, happy life. Now the children is happy. Now the children is more around with the mother, the parent. And now the children is more more educated or academically educated enough to really like, skip a couple of grades or to succeed better like in school and in life. So I think that's where he's trying to, convey in his point of view. Yeah.
And this is why I have an issue with a lot of this provider and 50-50 shit, because I think so many times people want to, make the case for their position without like analyzing any data. Mm-hmm. So it's like, if you look at like, for example, Manic, his son goes to this academy where, kids are, they're pretty much taught at a higher level and stuff. So his son is probably one of the smartest kids I have ever seen. Yeah. So it's just like, I see what Yada's kind of saying. It's like, hey man, my wife does pump a lot into the kids, but there's ways around it. You can take your kid to a private school or, to one of these academies where, your kid is learning a lot of stuff and they're having like good interactions. So like I said, it's like sometimes they try to paint this picture like the only way your kid could excel is like if your wife's a stay-at-home mom and stuff. So yeah, it just made me wonder. It's like, man, how the hell you test a kid for a 4th grade level? Like, man, what?
Right.
And then it's just like you can't ignore the fact that there's other kids that's excelling, that goes to like I said, these academies are these like high-end daycares and stuff. So yeah, it's just funny how people just like paint it like it's lopsided sometimes. Yeah. No, I hear you. Hold on for 1 second. I gotta give a shout out to Nikki. Thank you for tuning in. And then we got Stan waking up in the morning. Well, what's good, Stan?
I actually work in the morning, but salute.
What's good, Nikki?
Yeah. But thank you guys for tuning in. No, I feel on that one, man. It just, like I said, man, I mean, to him, like, he's trying to make it make sense. But to me, it's like...
Yeah, he's breaking down his position. But yeah, I just heard that. I'm like, man, what the hell is somebody doing so special at 4th grade? Not to be mean, you got to do the foundations. But it's like, man, I think we try to oversell, like, sometimes, my kids, read it at, they're doing stuff, they excelled at this level. It's like, man, what the hell are they doing at that level anyways? Like drawing? Right. Doing a little hand painting and shit like that.
For real, man, But see, those are the topic points that, like, people like him is going to try to sell, because obviously he's doing this to, like, as a benefit for women, because more women are tuning into his platform. And it's amazing, like, when you read like the comments, not in like in this video in particular that we're reacting to, but some of his videos when I did my kind of research, and I was like, I know these women are not buying into this. And unfortunately, like a whole herd of them really believe that this was God's purpose, right? For us to really take on the responsibility and provide for them. So meaning that if I was a guy to take someone's daughter away from their father, now I am financially responsible, and for that, I have to give up my entire paycheck to make sure that she's satisfied. Her money is her money. My money is also her money. But if I'm giving my entire paycheck to somebody, what money I want to have for myself?
Yeah, and it just because like me and my wife, we both like contribute work. We always been doing we've been working with each other doing 50-50, and so it's funny. I'm always like giving my input to these type of conversations and relationships. So my son, he went to like a academy daycare, and it's funny because like when we was raising him and stuff, we worked with him a lot. They told us the same thing, like, hey, your kid is when he was like in kindergarten or something like that, like, hey, he's performing like he's in 4th grade. So I think that standard shit, everybody like that wants to brag a little bit, they kind of come with that statement, but it's kind of like meaningless. Cause like I said, remember my son's 23 now. So yeah, when he was young, I'm like, man, I was like, so what's that mean? Like he could paint in lines or something? He could draw? What's he doing like nuclear physics or something like that? So yeah, I think people try to overplay this shit. Where it's like, man, what's he doing, accounting now? What's he gonna start a business?
Right.
But yeah, we can get back to the video. Yeah, I just wanted to.
Yeah, so shout outs to Marcus, man.
What's good, Marcus?
Thank you for tuning in, man. So, hey, man, it's good to see you guys hopping up on there. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna continue because I think he was still talking.
Yeah.
Talk to a woman and give her money. Providing is elevate a woman mentally, elevate a woman spiritually, emotionally. This is what it means to provide for a woman. Not just here's some money, run off with it. No. Let me elevate you. Let me bring you closer to your God. Let me set standards in your life. If your father gave you to me, you are my responsibility from the bottom of your feet to the top of your head. I'm going to love everything about you 100%. And if I can't do that, I'm not a man. I'm a male. And that's a difference.
That's your one
Man,
track.
talk to me, brother.
No.
Talk to me, brother.
No.
Talk to me,
that's
brother.
not what we're going to do today.
Talk to me, brother.
So this is what we're going to do.
Talk to me, brother.
Because he's like Kamala Harris right now.
Talk to me, brother.
And I've heard all of these talking points.
Talk to me.
And I don't even study him. Because he says the same thing over and over again.
Talk to me.
You got to control yourself. Because that's not manly.
Talk to me, brother.
You got to control yourself.
Brother, talk to me, brother.
So you see how I was quiet when you were speaking?
No, you cut me off, but go ahead, bro.
I didn't say anything.
You got it, brother. There you
I
go.
was quiet when you were speaking.
Go ahead, bro.
And so now we're going to add nuance. Now we're going to add context. So first thing we have to do is we have to ask ourselves the question, what does it mean to be a man? Because being manly has nothing to do with a woman. It has nothing to do with pandering. It has nothing to do with just providing. Being a man means being purposeful. That's what being a man is. That means that whatever it is that I seek from God, because my purpose is not a woman is a helpmeet. So when he panders to you guys, and ladies, remember, I don't know what he's selling. I don't know what product that he has, but my goal is to get you married. My goal is to have you married based off of what God says is sanctified, right? I don't want y'all divorced. I don't want you unequally yoked. I don't want you to be a single baby mama. I don't want you shooting your shot in the dark thinking that this guy is giving you insight when he's just giving you talking points with no real substance behind it. And here's the context. At what age do you want to be married? Do you put yourself in a position to find the person that's best for you? Has your father given you away? Does your parents actually see value in the person that is looking to marry you? And when you start to ask yourself these questions, and I don't speak to just rich people because we both have money, we both have resources. So let's remove that from the table. I speak to the majority, not the minority. And when you are 20, 21, 22 years old, especially if you are a person that's looking to become a man, you are supposed to fail in controlled environments, meaning that your father is not even supposed to give you everything. He's supposed to give you what you need in order to be successful. My father was able to buy me a car, but he told me that I had to earn it and work for it because I valued it more, which then extended to every single thing that I touch, including the woman. See, my wife is here. My wife travels with me. She knows me. She understands me, right? And so at 20, 21, 22 years old, you're supposed to be broke. Unless you're doing something that you ain't supposed to do in order to get it. You're supposed to be building. You're supposed to be understanding each other. It's a storming, a norming, a forming situation. And in no circumstance do you ever come into it fully understanding who the person is, regardless of whether you're a man or a woman. And so when we start to look at what God has ordained to be great, the purpose of a man, it's not just to give spirituality and leadership. And it's to understand. The first thing that the word says, in everything that you do, you get understanding. And everything you do, you get understanding. I don't even know her. I don't even know you. Everybody is out here dating, everybody running around, everybody doing everything. They're giving themselves to each other. We think that money or resources or what you can do or what you can offer a person is supposed to make up for all of the insecurities and the problems and the issues that you have in your childhood. What have you solved for? Right? Do you have problems in your childhood? Do you even have a father? Do you know what it means to be a man? It's a lot of women that's raising men to be feminine because they're in single parent households, right? How does that look? What does it look like when you get into a situation with a woman that has a child out of wedlock already, and then she still has to deal with the father? How do you deal with that? See, these are the questions that he can't answer for you, because the only thing he talks about is pandering. I'm talking about context. I'm talking about substance. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about praying together. I'm talking about building. You're supposed to get married when you're young because it prevents you from sinning and finding yourself with all of these bodies and these soul ties that ultimately carry with you for the rest of your life. And then you start to see every single man, and you can't take it out of your memory with the person
Yada got that what the fuck I get myself into in his face.
Right.
Because they didn't have the guidance, because they didn't have the spirituality. They don't know the word of God. And so it's easy to just say, oh yeah, just provide 100%. What happens when life happens and you're 22, 23, 24 years old and you get married? The economy messed everybody up. Everybody that thought that they had it, guess what? You got a plan, and then God has a plan. What happened to the character? Why you don't talk about character?
Hold on, and Anton,
why he don't? No, hold on. Why he don't talk about character? Because when I teach my daughter, I'm a reflection of the man that I would want my daughter to marry. I don't tell my daughter to go and look for a guy to provide for her. I tell my daughter to go and look for a guy that's believing in God, that has good character, that actually worships and looks for and focuses on his purpose, because everything else falls in line. The money is gonna come. We so busy
Anton
chasing
took this
money.
bitch over, didn't he?
Righteousness and everything else will be added unto you. You don't have to chase money. You don't have to look to women to provide for them, because if you're naturally that, if you're raised up in the admonition of your father, which is what God has ordained for you to do, you don't have to worry about that. That's naturally in you. And so, yes, absolutely, she should be purposeful. And her purpose at that time could be raising the children, depending on if y'all got children. Her purpose at that time could be out there and bringing in resources, because she's learning a new skill that can then translate into the company that y'all build together. It's a lot of nuance and a lot of context. But I hate it when people pander to women, because they leading y'all astray. And it sounds like I'm a harsh father. It sounds like it's a difficult situation. It sounds like you're just supposed to be giving everything. But if that's the case, then why are we as a society, why are we as a people, as Black people in particular, so far behind, and we further behind than we ever been, even though we the freest and we have the opportunity to choose for ourselves? This isn't God. Ain't none of this what he talking about God right now. And I ain't even studied it. I ain't even getting started. I'm gonna let you cook. Go ahead. Do your thing.
But I want clarity.
Hit pause, man. There's a lot we gonna touch on.
Yeah, let me read this comment from Marcus. He said, "Life is going to be life in when you actually try to act grown and face responsibilities and trials." And Stan says Anton cooked them. Flipped them over and cooked them on the other side. So I was gonna misquote Stan and say he flipped them over like a pancake. But go ahead, sophisticated jerk.
Yeah, so Anton did a good job, like taking his time and like forming his argument, in his debate. Mm-hmm. And yeah, at some point Yada should have just like cut him off and stuff. But Yada did say some things that was somewhat correct. But like I said, because he was like, man, you should uplift the female spiritually and all that stuff. But the issue with Yada is like he ties everything to, and Anton caught it, was just like provision, like pay for everything. That makes you a man. And this is why I have a lot of issue, when, me, man, I get a lot of pushback from a lot of dudes when I'm like the 50-50 and they always confuse it. And I'm like, there's other things you could bring to a relationship. It's like, it's knowledge, structure, and stuff like that. But a lot of guys, like I say, when they're either terrible with ladies, they might not, back in their day, they were not the attractive person. So they finally, when they get a pool full of money, because they did hustle and stuff. So it sounded like Yada got to that bread. But in his mind, since he might not be the best with the females, he feels like I have to pay for everything. This is what makes me a man. And then it's just like he wants to project that on to everybody else, where it's like he's kind of trying to take a swipe at like a bunch of other guys, like, oh, you got to have like 300,000 in your bank. You need to put the 50,000 to the female and stuff, because this is something I would do. So that's the issue where like I get into, like I said, a lot of issues with a lot of these provider guys, because I'm like, nah, man, masculinity is not tied to your financial position or what you do for a female. Because if that's what you're saying, that means that you weren't a masculine man until you got married. You know what I'm saying? Because it undercuts that. So it's just like, what, you was a little punk before you got married and stuff, and you paid all this money to a female? Nah, you should be like, if you was single, you should be a masculine guy. Because it has nothing, Anton was spot on, it has nothing to do with a female. So that's what I'm saying. When you hear guys that always like take masculinity and they tie it into females, that's just a weak man. You know what I'm saying? So I think that people need to start being careful. It's like if you hear somebody trying to attach masculinity to that, that's a weak individual. So yeah, he might have got some money and stuff, but he's trying to low-key shit on other guys and stuff. And I think that's just a pussy move. I'm just gonna be frank with it, because it's just like, if you're not masculine enough to go out here and like do MMA, some combat sport, hit the gym, and separate yourself by putting in that work, and you just got to lean on your money, it's just that's where it becomes weak. Because as a man, we're supposed to be men of action. You're supposed to be out there doing these different acts. And it's like, if you do those acts and stuff, then you don't have to sit there and rely on like pandering, like Anton was saying, because women will be attracted to you and they're going to give you a different deal. Me and Manic talk about it all the time. It's like, if women are actually attracted, they will come in and they would work with you. So it's just like a lot of those guys that don't want to put that work in. It's like, okay, let me shit on all these other guys so I could put myself on this like other tier, so I can try to separate myself from the other guys. And, I could kind of, start getting some of that female attention and stuff like that. So yeah, it's a bullshit tactic and stuff. And I think guys that do that to other men that's out here working hard and, putting that work in, they just might not be in the same position you are. I think it's just bullshit. Because, what happened if a guy's a cop and he's making like 50 to 60,000? You mean as a society, we should just think that guy ain't masculine because he's not making like 300,000 a year? That's bullshit. And, just to kind of give people context, I hate talking about my own financial position, but I'm in the 1%. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm saying I wouldn't come out here and be like, hey, just because people don't make the type of money that I make, I'm going to come out here and shit on them. Nah, masculinity, I'm like, I go to the gym, I spar. I do kickboxing for like 20 years. 2 times, wrestling champion. It's like them dudes that I'm in them gyms with, some of them are janitors and shit. But they go in there, they fight. Those are masculine men. So yeah, I hate when dudes do that, like play on words and shit on other guys.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. And
sorry, I was ranting, man. That's why I can't stand this tricking shit and pandering. Because it's like, man, Yada ain't going to hop in no ring and fight no MMA guy. So it's like, man, how you going to be like, who gave you the right to like dictate masculinity when, you're probably a pussy in real life?
Shit, I definitely put that. So, and I'm going to read the comments in a minute, but I'm going to just put it like this, right? Only one person out of this whole debate, obviously one person I'm going to respect is Anton, and the other person I'm just going to be like, hey, fuck you, right? Because Anton speaks for the majority, meaning that he is going to be universal with the middle class, the poor, and the wealthy or rich, you want to call it. And so where you at right now, you have to move accordingly to who you are. And here's the thing. Everything is not always have to be tied into something financial. If anything, if you're a person that's well-to-do, but then yet you feel like you need to utilize your resources in order for you to keep the woman that you're with, then to me, I feel like he's preaching anti-masculinity. That's my opinion to it. Like, you know, I'm gonna just be transparent, right? Now, I may not be the person that's in that 1%. However, I'm striving to be that person. I mean, hell, it's California. What do you expect, right? But I'm striving to be that person, at least that's up there, close to that. I know the reality of it. I know, like, you know, weighing down my options. But here's the thing. I know for sure, if I was ever to be in that 1%, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to probably be the biggest asshole only because now I got to protect my wealth and I got to protect my surroundings. And also, too, I have to be more pickier than ever when it comes to the pre-selection from these women, because once you find out that I'm like in a certain type of caliber, because, you know, women are really good detectives. They're going to find out how much you make, right? I don't even want to like be aligned with someone where I feel like in order for me to keep you, I had to pay for you. Like, dude, like, no disrespect to his wife or whatever, but the way how he's talking, you just pretty much married a long-term prostitute. I don't care how I say it, but I'm just saying, like,
his shit is transactional, like you're saying. It's a transactional relationship. It's like, hey man, I got you on this pedestal, man. Like a lot of the females, when they feel like they settle for somebody they're not attracted to, they're like, hand me that wallet, dummy. You know, so yeah, definitely you spot on. But let me touch on something, because and this is why Yada in this position that he's spitting. Yeah. And I get it. It sounds good to the ladies, but it's like it's just not obtainable. Because first of all, it's like, man, when you start looking at the like statistics, only about 2 to 3% of the population make over 300,000. Right. And this is including women, men, you know, people that date the same sex. So it's just like, man, when you start probably dissecting it out, it's only like 1% of dudes that make that amount of money. And then it's just like, some of them are also already married. Then some of them, you know, in that portion. So it's like, man, when you start dwindling it down, some of them you might not even be attracted to. Then it's just like, on top of that, it's like, they gotta like you back. And that's why I think these pandering dudes, they kind of dangerous, because, you know, it's like, they're pitching to women like, you deserve this, you should get this. And it's like, first of all, it's like not a lot of people out there that make this amount of money, but they might not like you back, because these people are like, you were painting them three. I like where you were going with it. That's why I jumped into this, where it's like, man, those dudes, not everybody's a sucker like Yada. Like I said, I'm in that 1%, and I'm not just handing my money over to you. You're going to have to come there. I got some standards. And a lot of the dudes that I'm around, because they getting bread too, they're like, they ain't going to be just doling out money. They give smart women that make money too. And a lot of us do. And a lot of people, like, I live in the DMV area. You know, there were women that make money. For example, my wife makes over 200,000. I'm not messing with no broke chicks. So that's where what a lot of these women don't understand. A lot of these physicians and stuff, they're marrying other women in the healthcare industry. All the dudes that's around me that make over like 200,000 and stuff, they're with women that make money. And they all work with each other. So this whole fantasy that like you can't get a feminine woman that like is submissive, that makes money, it's just nonsense. And I think a lot of people like Yada and them, they like painting this picture like you don't have leadership unless you pay 100%. That's why I'm saying they're trying to project their limitations and that trick shit on everybody else, because that's what they have to do. Because like I said, they pedestalize women so much that they got a chick that don't like them, and that chick's making them pay. So yeah, that's why I try to always give a lot of pushback. And it's just like one more point that Anton made, where he was just like, the natural progression of like men is like, if you meet your wife early, you're not going to have a ton of money. So Anton, he's a millionaire guy, successful. He wasn't making a ton of bread in his 20s. Like same thing with me. Like I went in the military. You're not making a ton of money. So it's just like, man, you grow, and that's the smart time for females to grab a guy, because it's just like, if you work with that guy, he's going to respect you in a certain way, and he's going to have a different level of tolerance with you. So it's just like, if I was like to get in the market now at my age of 45, man, I'm not tolerating nothing with nobody. Like, I'll be like, man, if you get on my nerves, you getting up out of there. You know what I'm saying? And that's how what a lot of females don't understand. And that's why they're having a lot of issues as far as like the dating market, when they're like, oh, there's not a lot of guys, or the ones I do, they move on quick. It's like, nah, they're spotting that you're coming to the situation trying to use them, and they're going to move on because there's a lot of people out here, you know, that will work with somebody. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a bit. So shout out to Anton and kind of putting out, I like how he captured that progression as a man, because it's like, man, there's young dudes out here, and to put that expectation on them having to pay for everything, that's just nonsense. It's delusional. And women, y'all gonna wait for this like perfect situation, and you know what, you're gonna be aging out. And then at that point, like when guys start getting older, they start getting more successful, and they don't pedestalize women as much, man, they're gonna move past you to the female that's willing to work with them. And that's what's happening in the dating market. So it's like, yeah, y'all just setting people up for like delusion and, you know, prolonged misery. And that's what's going on. That's why a lot of people on Prozac, you look at the like the psychiatric meds, everybody's like increasing that. People are more miserable than ever. It's because they're trying to come into a situation and use people and not go through the right process. So yeah, nah, avoid this shit.
No, you definitely cooking like hella hard, man, right now. Let me ask you just a quick question, Sophisticated Jerk, right? Because you know, since you brought up like, you know, how much your wife makes or whatever, and I'm not trying to pry into your business.
No, shit, we'll cover it, and I'm glad you're asking. Let's go.
And this is like, you know, for like, you know, men who's aspiring, or let's just say like, okay, they're looking for someone, but they're well-to-do themselves. So let's say, i.e., right? But we're going to use like just simple numbers, right? So let's say your wife makes like, okay, she makes like $200K or whatever a year, but like you're making, let's say, $150K a year. You know, just something like that's closely, right? Like she's making more to you. Should that be as a man, right, a deal breaker where it's like, dang, I should not get with someone that makes more than me until I get up to that bracket where I'm in the even plane, or do I need to make more? Because some young men, unfortunately, they get confused. I ain't gonna say young, because it could be men my age or whatever that think that type of way. What's your thoughts on that part?
Nah, there is, man, because we hear a lot of men that say that. They're like, oh, man, it's a deal breaker. I can't do it. But those are guys that, like I said, it's like they pedestalize a woman to a certain degree, and they're not confident in herself. Because if you got confidence in yourself, and you're like, man, I don't care. Like, and that's why I say it's important to get with a smart woman that understands like finances, and she's not trying to like use her money to like disrespect you. So it's like, man, if you get the right woman and she actually likes you, it's just like, man, y'all should be looking at the whole picture, where it's just like, okay, man, yeah, you make a little bit more, but I'm making good money. We're not too far off, but hey, let's pay down our debt together. Let's invest. So that's where, as a guy, you should be going out, seeking out knowledge and becoming resourceful. So it's like, yeah, you might make more money than me, but with my mindset and I learn how to invest, I'm going to triple our money. So there's other ways you might not be able to bring it in as far as salary, but hey, okay, I'm going to start learning real estate. I'm going to learn how to flip houses, you know? So yeah, my salary might not be reflected as like equal with you, but my mindset is going to allow me to like bring other things to the table. So I'm good at investing. I'm good at this, you know, I always keep myself in shape. And this is what dudes don't realize. It's like, man, there's so many other intangibles you could bring that like a female's like, damn, like I got me a winner. This dude is resourceful. He's knowledgeable. He's always like learning different things. And now we done expanded our money. We got our bills paid off. Cause you know, that's me and my wife, like I said, we both make over 200,000 and it's weird. We always like, we never focus on this like bullshit. You know, we was just always like, man, let's win. And so we just focus on like paying down our debt. Like I said, I was out there learning, investing, becoming resourceful, networking with people and stuff. So I brought those attributes to the table where it's just like, hey man, like now we're in a position we don't have no bills. So it's like, we don't even have to worry about the bills portion. So that's where people work with each other instead of like worrying about like stuff like Yada saying, and just get over the hump and pay off the debt. It's like, man, you ain't even really gonna have to worry about that. So now we just got so many damn investments. We got probably like 4 or 5 different streams of money coming in to where, man, we're just chilling. We're going through the motions of life, man, where we just traveling now. So yeah, people just think so short term versus the long term. So Yada's teaching people how to look short term and stuff, and it's just gonna trap them in misery. Because like I said, it's like you're not even gonna get the guy that's really gonna be able to come in there and pay the bills and stuff. And even if he's in that like income range, that don't even mean he's gonna do it, you know. Because there's a lot of women just don't understand. It's like there's 168 million women in the United States,
Right?
And there's only 2 to 3% of people that make over 300,000. So I mean, you do the math. Like this is where you got to apply logic to stuff, and this is where like a person like Yada is just like he's delusional. He's teaching you how to be delusional because you're just not even going to get it by the mere numbers.
My one fear is that, like, man, like the guys who already is prepackaged with a lot of low self-esteem and insecurity is actually going to think and actually going to apply into that once they get certain resources. It's not going to be $250K a year for that woman, but it's going to be equal enough to that equivalent based on what the man makes. And he's going to run into that type of person that unfortunately you're going to have kids by, you're going to have a family with, and she's only going to be with you as long as you continue to pay her. This is almost the same equivalent to Trina and her boyfriend or husband who, you know, gives her money, but he's not allowed to, whatever he makes, he's not allowed to spend it unless he gets her consent, which is like a certain type of move.
But see, Yada, he's setting people up to use people and to use. And it's just like, man, when you're in that dynamic, it's just short term because somebody's going to burn out. So if you're a person that's constantly just like over leveraged, financially burdened, it's just like, man, you're not going to like being in that capacity. And then, you know, it like you said, like females are somewhat in that capacity too. And it's just like, man, it's a terrible position to be in. And it's just like, it's short-term thinking. So it's just like, hey man, we're both functional adults and we go to work and we both work in the office. Is it really that hard work? So let's work together. Let's pay down this debt. Because even the Bible talks about, hey, don't be a slave to debt. So it's like, let's get that hurdle over. And guess what? We don't have to worry about debt anymore if we pay that shit off. So that's why I'm saying people just think so like, somebody told me something when I was younger and it just stuck with me. He was like, hey man, if you want to be in the 1%, think differently from the 99%. And most people just go through life, just keep doing the same shit that even with the traditional stuff, they like, oh, I'm traditional. Like, okay, was your family successful? Because it's like, you should be following some broken shit. So,
Right.
So yeah, it's just crazy, man. And it's sad because it's just like a lot where they say rich people just keep getting richer. The rich keep getting richer. It's because, man, they know how to leverage their money. They're open to adapting and doing different things and stuff. So yeah, that's where a lot of people trap themselves into.
That too, but then also too, like the poor people, like, when it comes to like voting for like certain bills or whatever, you vote for something in hopes that the rich pay more taxes, but then the rich also find loopholes around it. And then it falls back on the poor people. Well, mostly on the middle class, because poor people get welfare and all kinds of other benefits. But look, I gotta read these comments real quick, right? I know you cooking, but I gotta get to the comments real quick in the video. But Margaret says there's a difference when it comes to religious texts and certain culture, how to be a provider and protector, but to the state and government, marriage is used as a business, not about love and unity. That is definitely correct. I do definitely agree to you on that part, because the government, well, you know how it is. They do their best to keep the man out the picture anyway. Well, the father, that is. Grandma Cynthia 666 says, and good morning, by the way. He says, when you groom women at a very young age, that there are certain expectations financially men are supposed to do, then these are the results you'll usually get. Instead of saying, or when you groom men, as well as there are certain expectations financially you're supposed to do it for the opposite sex. This is where the conundrum hits the wall, because that's the expectation. Sorry, that expectation is not realistic. And what's happening through this capitalism type of gaze. And then also too, he says, shout outs to Truth is Never Favored.
That's my boy, man. Truth, I'm gonna hit you up, man. I've been super busy, man. He said I ain't shit. Shout out to Truth.
hey. I mean, sometimes he ain't shit, dog. You know, I feel you, dog. Stan says cheaper to surrogate overseas and make a family. Okay. And then he says, hold on, whoops. Is this the? Oh, sorry, that's this one right here. He also says, not true. The richest stay rich. STAY, stay rich because they've been using the same system over and over again. And we as consumers was taught to be in that system over and over. When you teach the poor to always ask for less, don't fight back. This is what the amount you deserve, then yes, that's what you'll get.
But that's incorrect because if you look at like most millionaires that's created, they're newly created. They're not inheriting wealth like that, what you think. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like a lot of people that's getting money, they're doing unorthodox methods. So there's a large portion of people that like men and women are working and then they're both like maxing out their like 401k plans, TSP. Trust me, I'm in this field, man. I'll be looking at the data. I'll be looking at people's setups. So it's just like, man, there's still people that like I said, Yada and Anton, I think they both 100% providers. So does it work? Yeah, but there's a lot of other people that work together and end up excelling because of that. So I mean, you can't ignore that population of people.
I'm gonna just say this though. It's like a certain code that you have to break, but at the same time, in order for you to even break that code, you have to be financially educated. Unfortunately, you know, I'm going to be transparent. In the beginning of my years, like, you know, through generations, we was not financially educated when it came down to money. I had to pretty much self teach myself by reading certain books with Start with Rich Dad Poor Dad. Then it really opened up my mind that, oh, investing does exist. Oh, you could invest in property. Didn't know that. You could invest in certain vehicles like stocks and all that, 401ks, things like that. We never were really taught the value of, like, you know, well, the power of what you could do to invest rather than just put it into a savings in the bank where they could just utilize your money.
Yeah, thanks.
And you don't get shit from it. So
it's just one last point that I wanted to make because we was going down there. So like even if you look at how people date and meet each other, most people meet each other around a job. So it's just like even just a hammering that point of like a lot of women that might not be in professional settings think they're gonna get like a guy that makes a lot of money. It's just like people do proximity dating. So people date around like their work and stuff, people at their jobs, maybe. So yeah, I mean, if you're not coming across them because you're not putting, you know, you don't have your shit together, then you're probably not going to run into the guy that's like even making them salaries and stuff like that. And then it's just like to further that point, it's just, man, if you look at like the top, I'll say earners in America based on by like race.
Yeah.
Asian people are at the top now. And you know what they're doing? They're working with each other. They're both making the most amount of money. They're
Asian or Haitian?
Asians.
Asian, okay.
Asian people, yeah. So they're at the top, men and women. So you know what they're doing? Like, because I talk to a lot of people at my job because I'm always interested in like household dynamics. I'll be asking people, I'm like, man, how do y'all do y'all like household stuff? They're like, man, pay down debt. We invest. And simple formula, man. So that's what I'm saying. It's like a lot of people like Yada and them. It's just like, hey, man, that might work for you. But it's just like, man, if there's two people that could work together, that don't make that guy like less masculine. That makes them smart. The fact that they're like, hey, let's pay down this debt and make our money work for us so we could both retire and enjoy each other. You know, so yeah, a lot of this stuff stupid, but I know we want to get back to the video.
No, but shout outs to you know, Asian Mai, you know what I mean, from Tesla. So, you know, every time I hear the word Asian, man, I think about her.
Oh,
not real? Like in that type of like love type of stuff, but hey, look, I'm gonna put it like this, you know, any woman, right, that gives you like a fucking like discount from 600 to 0, hey, you better go after that girl. Don't be like me and fumble the bag, all right? Anyways, let's go ahead and we're gonna continue.
move on.
Go ahead, let's get
Because when we
let's
talk
get
about
it.
should men pay 100% of the bills,
Mhm.
I'm assuming that means based on the context that you just gave.
It's based
that
off of
men-
your
Tell the truth.
circumstance and situation.
Yep.
Everyone is different, and nobody is a monolith.
My brother.
Nobody is
My
a monolith.
Okay.
I
Let's go,
love how he put so much passion into his words. But when God created man, God gave man a purpose. And what was the purpose?
I'm sorry, real quick. Just fair warning, right? This guy is about to really like just go there with the scriptures. So
Oh, for real? They about to?
yeah, so they're gonna go with the Adam and Eve story. So just as a fair warning, y'all, man, you know, if I even have this up here, look, just please be advised, right, that what we are listening to or whatever, right, and what we discuss not political, clinical, financial, medical, nor legal advice, right? Sorry, and religious advice as well too, but this is for information, entertainment purposes only. Also, the opinions of the panelists, guests, and chat points is not, and especially Yada, it's not necessarily the viewpoints of knowledge and ratios. So just to give you a heads up, he's gonna be saying some bullshit that we are not gonna agree to. So yeah. Did you call her back? Stan, I don't have her number, but I gave her a review, man. And look, I'm gonna just say it like this, right?
He's slacking, Stan. He should have
know,
pulled back up to the facility.
Nah, that's gonna be on some desperate type of shit. Like, look, when I take an L, man, and I just learn from it. Okay, so
Damn.
But I told her, you know, like in the review, I was like, damn, I wish I had thought about, like, you know, going a little extra and beyond. So, you know, if you read this message, if you have any access to my number or my email, hit me up. You know, your boy's ready to take you out on a date. And if for whatever reason, if you know how like Facebook or social media, like, you know, when you bump into each other, although Stan did say that Tesla is a hater, right? So they don't allow employees to use their own cell phones, but you never know. You never know. But anyways, you know, you could just keep the hope alive or just move on. But yeah, my. Let's go ahead and play the video.
What was the purpose? He placed that man in a garden. What's this? That's a tree. What's this? Those are clouds.
Mm-hmm.
What's that? That's a sky. What's that? That's a bear.
That's not what
And
happened.
listen to
You don't
me.
even know the
Man,
word of
listen
God.
to me.
You don't even know the word of
Listen
God, but
to
I'm
me,
gonna let you
brother.
cook.
Listen to me. And when God seen that he was fit to represent himself as a man, he put him to rest. And from that rib, he took Eve. Now, this is a fact. Now we have to understand, what does it mean when you create a woman from the rib? What is a rib? A rib protects the internal organs, the heart and the rib. If the rib is mishandled, it fractures, it breaks. And what does that do to the man? It leaves him vulnerable. It leaves him hurt. But if a man handles this rib, protects this rib, uplifts this rib, guides this rib, loves this rib, this woman is able to become something greater than what she was created, which uplifts the man himself. So God gave a man responsibility before he gave him a woman. He didn't say, here's Adam and here's Eve. He said, here's Adam and here's the responsibility. And then when God was seeing that he was fit to be considered a man and a head, which God is the head of man and man is the head of woman, he then gave God Eve. And then what happened, brother? And then what happened?
You tell me. Because I'm going to add the context. I want you to
No, we can go in deep. If you want chapters,
you to
we can do this. But I need every young man listening to me that was raised in a home without a father. Young girls that was raised in homes without fathers. Your mother is divine greatness. Your mother is beautiful. I don't care what no man says about you, your mother, or where you can go. Strive to elevate. Strive to become the best version you are before you get into a relationship, so you don't have to drag a woman through the same things your fathers did to your mothers. Love yourself enough to provide for yourself. So when you get into a relationship with a woman, you don't have to abandon her or drag her through your turmoils. All praises is completely due to the Most High. Go ahead, my brother.
You know what's so funny about that story? The part that he left out
What's that?
is that she hearkened to the voice of the serpent. And the man wasn't there to protect her. God was. They had everything. They didn't even know that they was naked. He made her because he said that it wasn't good for man to be alone. And he didn't point to figure it out. He let him name every single thing that was in the garden. And the context matters. And this is what happens when you know your word. And the interesting part about it is the devil know parts of the Bible too. The devil know parts of the Bible too. So the serpent itself was able to beguile Eve because he understood what God told them not to do. Not to eat from that tree. Not to eat that fruit. And although she had all of the covering that she could ever want and need, there is no greater provider than God himself. And you know what she did? She was disobedient. She still ate. And not only did she eat, she went and she gave it to her husband too. Which then got them kicked out. And then they had to put cherubims around the tree of life so that they wouldn't eat it and become gods themselves. That's scripture. And then their children was raised up to then kill one another because one of them was jealous of the other. And then the children then became generational curses as a result of what the beguilement was from the wife, from Eve.
Brother.
No.
Okay.
That's what happened.
Okay.
That's literally what happened. So my point is that context matters. It's not just looking at it on the surface.
Definitely.
It's deep diving into the understanding. You need to get a concordance. You should get a concordance because I don't know what book you read. I don't know what version you understand, but you got to get a concordance to understand what words mean. And you need to understand exactly what God instructed Adam to do because he wasn't disobedient. He was punished for the thing that you tell women to do and you tell men to do. You said, people sent me a video of you saying a man should give 100% of his check to his wife. God punished Adam because he hearkened to the voice of his woman and he wasn't the leader that you said with both tongues, because it's speaking from both tongues, that you said that men should do. It's the
100%.
opposite of what God instructed man to do.
That's what he just said is so beautiful. Genesis chapter 3, verse.
He said 100%. That's what I'm saying, man. That's any man that tell you this. He got dude followers. He got guy followers.
I think mostly like the followers was definitely gonna be women. You know what I mean? And you're gonna have a few guys that actually will look into that, but I don't think most of them will really kind of like follow like what he's saying.
Yeah,
right
any dude that's like subscribed to that, like you borderline, man. You hopping off a short bus. You chewing crayons in like grade school. You huffing glue. Like
I'm gonna do this.
You can't
right?
be in your right mental capacity, man. If you like you side with that bullshit.
I'm gonna find like one of the videos, right? The small clips that he said, but I'm gonna just go down to the comments, right? Because it's more interesting when you read the comments and then you could get a fair assessment. But I'll do that in a minute. But what I was gonna say, so let me provide some type of clarity, like in the Adam and Eve story, because not everyone is like religious or they read the Bible like that. So in my own interpretation, which I feel like is very clear, Eve like stepped out of the garden and she had a conversation with the serpent, aka the devil or whatever. And it was the forbidden tree of life that you wasn't supposed to eat, but the devil used scriptures and convinced her that, hey, you will be wise just like God and your husband will be wise as well. So what Pander Bear Yada is saying, right, was that Adam went with her, that he stepped out of the garden with Eve, and they both ate the fruit together as if Adam had a conversation with the serpent. But when you read the scriptures carefully, only the devil had a conversation with Eve. And then when Eve had the apple, she took it to Adam, and then Adam bit into the fruit. And that's where God, because she was, at that time when she ate the fruit, I don't think she was even punished. But once Adam ate the fruit with her,
punished.
Huh?
They both were punished.
No, I'm talking about like when, because I feel like she ate the fruit twice, and I could be wrong with this part, right? But like when she first had had the fruit, right? I don't know if she took the fruit. This is the part where I get confused. I don't know if she took the fruit and then they both ate together, or she bit into Adam, like, oh, this is good, and then gave it to Adam, and then when they bit it together, then that's where the punishment began. But from what I know is that we don't know for sure if Adam even knew that the fruit that this woman gave him, if he already knew that this fruit was forbidden, or he was just like, oh, okay, this woman brought some fruit with me, cool, I ate, let me just eat with her. Because it sounded like after when God came down to heaven and was scolding them, he was like, well, this is the woman that you provided. You provided this bitch to me, right? So I trusted her.
But because I heard multiple people arguing this point, and I thought this segment that Yada even brought up the whole Adam and Eve thing, I thought it was pointless. Because at the end of the day, they were both punished. So pretty much they was in paradise, and they screwed that up. So it's like, man, you really didn't need because I think he starts talking about the protection and stuff. It's like, man, you didn't need protection because you was in paradise, man. Everything, you didn't have to work hard. They was in there chilling, man. If they would have just listened, they would have been living in bliss pretty much. So that'd be almost like if you're at a resort, everything's taken care of you. Man, you got armed guards all around you. Man, you're good. But they're like, hey, Ill3, you just got to follow my rules, and you get to live in this place, and you get to chill out for the rest of your life. But you break the rules, and you got to go out there. You got to deal with the life. You got to deal with the capitalism now. You got to deal with the people trying to attack you and stuff. So it was pointless. It was like, hey man, they both, kind of screwed that thing up. Not following God's orders. However the events happen, it's like, man, they both messed it up. Which shows you should always follow somebody, even if you know right from wrong and stuff. And I was listening to Beans, aka Little Podcast, and he had a great take on this part where he was just as far as when it comes to Adam, he was just like, hey man, once they kind of went to that path and they ate the fruit, it's just back in that time, they didn't have the modern, I'll say stresses and pressures that we have right now. Because it's even the point I think Yada's trying to make is just man, Eve wasn't coming to Adam and say, hey, I want luxury trips and shit. They didn't have a cable bill. So it's just man, I don't understand what point he was trying to make it. Because it's just if you're telling guys they got to provide for everything, men back in them days wasn't dealing with the modern issues that typically is coming with the cable package, internet.
Yeah, I wasn't for sure if you were trying to say
luxury trips and shit.
The protection that was supposed to be needed.
Yeah, I think they go down a little bit more once we play it.
Yeah,
but yeah, it was kind of like I said, just the story. It don't fit.
Yeah,
I don't know why Yada kind of introduced it.
Yeah, hold on.
Adam was right next to Eve when the serpent gave her the fruit to eat. He was right next to her. Genesis, this guy's crazy. Chapter 1, listen to me. Genesis chapter 3, verse 1 through 6. Can somebody read that for me?
What version?
I'm gonna pull that up. Genesis.
What version?
Let's go King James just to keep it. Let's keep it King James just to keep it standard.
And Lola, can we pull that up? Can we pull that up, Lola? Is that possible?
We're no longer allowing men to walk us around circles and sound like they know what they're talking about.
Oh no,
Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1 through 6. Can somebody please read?
And listen, we're gonna pull that up. And listen, shout out to the chat. We're gonna pull that up. Genesis chapter 1 through 6. We got 3,300 people in the chat. That's between initiates, NDBA, and the bag chasers all going crazy tonight. And I dropped the poll, guys. We already got 1,200 people chimed in on that poll. Who will win tonight's debate? Is already getting heated. Should men pay 100% of the bills? And it's funny because it's 52% to 48%. So pretty much it's 50-50.
After you read this, I'm gonna break down the generational curse. This brother didn't know what he was talking about.
Okay,
Let's do this.
Let's send that link to Lano. Send that link to Lano.
Praise
Let's
to
pull it up.
Let's go ahead.
Yo, my mic's still good?
Your mic is good. Can you
Make sure y'all get y'all Harley initiated cards. My mic it seems like it's going in and out.
It's
In my head, praises
in
be
your
to
headphones.
Most
It's probably
High.
your headphones, but your mic is good. Your
My
mic
mic,
is
as long as
good.
my mic is good.
Your mic is
All
Gucci.
praises be
So
to
check
Most
this
High.
out. I'm gonna go ahead and start reading this. Lano, go ahead. You gonna get that set to Lano to pull
I'm
it
trying
out.
to get it to Lano. Yeah.
Now, Genesis chapter 3. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord God had made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, hath God said, Ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, Ye shall not eat of it, neither shall y'all touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die, for God doth know.
So she already fucked up
that
just by
in
touching the
day
fruit.
Ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil.
That's correct.
And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
With her.
That
Read
does
that again.
not- no, that's not what it means.
Read that
That's
again.
not
please.
what it means.
Read that again, please.
That's
Read it
not
again.
what it
Read it
means.
again.
Let me read it one more time. Let me read this one more
That's
time.
not what it means, and you know better.
Now you want to change
You
the
know
word.
better. No,
Hold
it's
that up,
not
Lano.
changing
Hold
the
that up.
word.
Hold on, wait,
You
wait,
know
see
that's
that.
not what it
Guys,
means.
hold on, wait, 1 second. One second. This is actually chapter 3. I'm reading verse 6 again. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and the tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her.
With her.
But no, but see,
With her.
here's the key. No, here's the key.
Now he want to change the word of God.
No, don't overtalk me. She talked to the serpent
Scroll up,
by
Lano.
herself. She ate from the tree by herself, and then she took with her and then dined with her husband.
That's not what it said.
Listen. That is what happened in the word.
Man.
He wants to, and here's the beautiful part about this, is that he's so stuck on pandering.
Oh man.
He's so stuck. And here's the beautiful part about this, is that regardless of what man that you have, regardless of your covering, he's going to suffer no matter what. He has to pay the price. Men today understand that regardless of whether or not my mic is going in and out, or is it just my headphones?
Just your headphones. Just your headphones.
Regardless of whether or not we get you impregnated or not, we still have to be responsible for that. We go to jail regardless of if we want to take care of that kid or not. If we decide that we don't want to pay child support, even if it's not your child, a woman can put your name on the birth certificate and you will be imprisoned as a result of it.
Oh shit.
That is just the facts. It's men every single day that go to jail for things that they didn't do. They get accused of things that they didn't do every single day. Meaning that men by default, even back in the word of God, is held accountable for the things that their wife do. But it doesn't absolve the woman from being responsible for her own decisions. It does not absolve her at all. And that's the part of the context that we missing. We always want to put it on the men. And justifiably so, because men have to be responsible, and you've never seen how great a society is without men being great themselves. But we don't live in that time.
Oh, praises. Now,
We
can I
don't live
want to
in that
finish what I
time.
was saying about
But I'm gonna let him.
Genesis.
I'm gonna let him finish.
Thank you so
Let's
much,
go ahead
brother.
and get it. Let's go ahead.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. From Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1 through 6.
He just read it.
Listen to me, please, man. I speak. That's
You're right. I'm sorry.
I
You're right.
appreciate you so much. Genesis, chapter 3. You read
1
it.
through 6.
Yes,
1
sir.
through 6,
That
right?
was 1 through
Yeah.
6. Yes, sir.
Did it say that Eve walked down the street?
The street.
No.
Did it say she ran around the corner? She said she gave it to her husband that was right next to meaning.
It didn't say right
brother,
next to
brother,
it.
brother, that was
pervert the word of God.
Can we read it one more time? Is it on the screen?
He didn't say
Can
he
we
was right
place it
next to
again?
it.
Can we place?
He said that
This man is really reaching so hard.
by herself. 1 minute, he was not there.
Brother, 1 minute, brother.
Check it out. I got it. It says, and gave also. She took.
Also,
She took.
Also,
the
thank you. Brother.
She
Thank
took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her.
So you're gonna ignore
And
also?
with her.
You're gonna ignore also?
Can you read it again? Because I don't know.
I didn't see anywhere.
English from.
I didn't see.
I mean, this shit's not hard, man. Like,
Yeah, because I heard people debating that part, and I'm just like, why the hell would the serpent be talking to her singular if he was there? Like, would it be like, I'm talking to they? Like, he would be addressing them both. So yeah, I don't. I'm not no expert though. Like, that's what I'm saying. But
now,
it's
let me just break this down, right? Okay, Adam is supposed to be the head of the whole entire garden, right? So if you're in charge, think about how this bullshit will sound, right? Let's run through the scenario. That mean, Adam was already baited in my mind or wherever since he ate that fruit from Eve, but he could have been deceived. But let's just say Adam and Eve walked together, right? And then they met with a serpent. Now, to me, I don't know. I will kind of feel some type of way if it's like, okay, you're this stranger, you're only talking to my wife or whatever, and she's asking these inquiring questions, but you're like pretty much not even acknowledging my existence. Like, that part wouldn't make sense if he's bringing that passage up as if Adam was there. That means that basically, without him saying this, you're saying that Adam was pretty much a follower of Eve rather than being a follower for God. So that means that
just even the language wouldn't even make sense, because it was like, why would you even write it? But
that's why
was like addressing her and stuff, like you said. What is he just standing there like a bodyguard or something like? So that's why I'm saying it don't.
But that's why I'm saying this right in this type of way, because like, even as I'm presenting, like giving, like trying to give y'all the benefit of doubt, that doesn't even make sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So again, you know, it's simple, it's plain. There's nothing confusing about the scriptures, bro. The bitch like stepped out, she wandered around. That was pretty much maybe Adam's mistake. Let her walk around by herself. You know what I mean? Obviously, that woman needed to be supervised just like all the other animals were. Okay? And as a result to that, the serpent gave her the fruit. She already bit into that. That's why I was like, okay, well, God didn't punish him until like Adam ate the fruit along with her. Because now it's like, all right, like you're supposed to be the head of everything. Now you being disobedient. But the question that's always going to be a question mark is that whether or not, if Adam knew that fruit was, well, actually, you know what? I take that back. Now, Adam did know where that fruit came from, because Eve did explain to him in later on in the scriptures that, hey, if you buy this fruit, we'll both be wise from God or whatever, or like God. So that was the only time Adam actually became a follower, and he started to pretty much follow his wife as opposed to following God. And that's where that punishment began. For people who don't really, you know, read the scriptures like that. So again, Eve, like, you know, took the fruit. She already bit into it. So she was already full of sin. And then she brought that sin and they both died together. Adam could have made a choice about, yo, God, hey, get this bitch out of here, right? She's trying to ruin my life. But instead, he was a beta male, right? And this is what this is like, kind of like
so Adam was the first beta.
He was the first beta, man.
He messed it up for all of us, man. But no, that's what I was just saying. The English context, man. If you it wouldn't make sense, because it's just like, okay, first, like you were saying, the serpent addressed just her. He just standing there, just like confused and shit, not engaging in the conversation? Then it would be like, it wouldn't be a need for like all those paragraphs, because it'd be like, hey, man, they both taught to the serpent. They both ate the fruit, so she wouldn't have to go and bring it to him, you know. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it don't even make sense just from like a regular English
They should have just
structure.
read the New Living Translation. I mean, not New Living Translation, but the New International Version. They should have just read the NIV or the NLT, and then that would have gave a little bit more context to it, as opposed to like Shakespearean it up, like Stan said.
Yeah, but even then, it was just kind of pointless because it's like, man, they both ate the fruit and were punished. It got thrown out of paradise. So it's just like,
I mean, the only reason
that's why I don't know why Yada kept on going back and stuff. It was like, man, you could have just left this one out. But
I think something that Stan said, like Anton hit him with the logic, so Yada cannot beat him on that logic aspect. So he tried to use spirituality to combat with Anton, but unfortunately for him, he does not know that Anton also reads the Bible as well too. So
yeah, he's well versed in it. That's what I'm saying. Like he knows the Bible. So like when they were walking through it, it's just like he's fixated on like the minor stuff instead of the bigger story. Like Anton's trying to get him to show, like, hey man, at the end of the day, like, you know, they both were thrown out of paradise, and they didn't really need a ton of, you know, protection, like what Yada saying, like, oh, he should have been protecting and doing this. It's like, nah, if you both followed suit, y'all would have been good and had it chilled. But now that y'all like stepped out of order, you got to deal with the stuff that we dealing with today. Like I said, the capitalism, all this extra stuff. And that's the issue. So yeah, he's kind of like undercut his own initial position as far as like trying to, you know, pin the stuff on Adam. But it's just like, hey, they're both adults and they both were given instruction and they both broke it. So they have to deal with shit now because of that.
Yep. Let's go ahead and we might probably skip a couple of stuff because I'm for sure they probably talk about more stuff besides like this Bible stuff.
Where'd you learn your English? Where it said that Adam was there while she was having a conversation.
I understand you don't like to be proven wrong. I got you.
We gotta have.
I didn't see that.
We gotta have one mic, guys, just so because we gotta
finish. Thank you so much.
We gotta
So
get
let's get it. So Genesis.
All right. I'm gonna skip this part, right?
We skip some of that.
Because I think, you know, we already know. I'm gonna see what else they've been talking about from this video.
It's 1 through 6.
Right. And the men I'm speaking to the majority. You're speaking to men that's coming out of households with fathers and mothers. I'm speaking to men that literally had to teach themselves how to be men, how to urinate. Shake it once, shake it 3 times, and playing with it. There's no man guiding a man and telling a man to do that. So I'm telling the brothers that's coming from where I'm coming from, brothers, heal. Your father, he might have been going through some things. You don't know. Heal. If your mother was abusive, because it happens. It does happen. Heal. That's the topic, brother. Heal. Heal yourself before you entertain a woman, or you will bleed on everybody. Because it's hard when you finally meet a woman that loves you and you're just gushing out blood, past relationships. Mommy,
man, let me just put it like this, man. Love does not really exist unless if you are the child of the woman. Okay.
Daddy issues, sibling issues. So I just want to tell the young brothers again and the older men, heal. Put the pride, put the ego down and heal. Regardless if it's mommy issues or daddy issues, mommy issues, or both. We have to heal as men so we can become the fathers that we never seen or had. Regardless if we have fathers in our lives, we should become better versions of them. And if we didn't have fathers in our lives, we should strive to do for our children what no man has done for us. And again, I give all praises due to the Most High.
There you have it. Anton, can we go to round two?
No. Because we're not going to skip past certain things.
Okay.
What we got?
He says he's speaking to a certain demographic.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking to people. I think that women and men need to heal.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's no Captain Save-'em that's going to come into your life and fix the things that you didn't fix yourself.
Mm.
And that's the difference between us. Fundamentally, on a lot of the things that we do agree on, right? We do agree on a lot of things. The problem between him and I is that he doesn't speak to people. I believe that he because he understands his audience, he understands his demographic. I think that he slants his words towards always speaking negatively towards men and don't hold women accountable, which is one of the reasons why he purposely left out the abusive mothers also, because we can solve for 99.9% of all men in society today. And guess what? Because of how we are biologically made, 1% of men can populate 90% of all women. So even if all men got themselves together, men could still, certain demographic of men, because it's a false narrative to say and hold, if he's speaking to the majority of men, like he said that he was, it's a false narrative to say that the majority of men are out here doing things that they're not supposed to do, holding themselves accountable and getting women pregnant out of wedlock. There's a small minority of men that's populating the majority of these women that's getting them pregnant out of wedlock. And so if you're going to speak to something, then you have to solve for the majority, not the minority. Women are out here choosing for themselves because they have the availability to do so. They having a slut walk. I seen you say on Angela Yee's podcast, you told a woman that said that she was ready to slut it out because she had been abstinent for 2 years and she was ready to have 3 different guys at the same time, and you encouraged her. You said, go ahead, date them all.
You know what? I gotta quickly find that video because this part is important, right, for me to pull.
Yeah,
up.
so let me dive into this real quick because Anton on his show, he pulled up the receipts and it's facts because I listened to it. Yeah, Yada did say that, and he was co-signing like the female that's like, hey man, I've been celibate, I'm about to get back in these streets, and he definitely was co-signing it. But to go even back, just the position that Anton made that I agree with, because like Yada and a lot of guys that pander, it's like the guy needs to improve, which I agree, because I'm always like, hey man, you need to embrace growth and stuff. But where they stop is like when it comes to the female, and then that's a bad message for ladies. I know like a lot of females be like, oh yeah, the guys need to do this, but it's just like, okay, say men just take Yada's message, they level up, they improve. Don't you think they're gonna go seek out females that got their shit together? So it's just like, man, if both sides don't improve, they're not gonna be equally yoked. So the guys are not going to be sitting there aligning with like women that don't have their shit together, you know, for the most part. You know, you're always going to have them guys that do it. But, you know, that's why like both parties, like Anton's saying, it's like, man, both parties got to go and like get their stuff. Both got to heal themselves and, you know, fix their situations and, you know, start working with each other, because it's like guys are waking up. A lot of guys are like, nah, I want a reciprocal relationship. You know, I want somebody that's healthy. I'm getting my stuff together. So yeah, for people to keep pitching like one side needs to do something, it's just like, man, it ain't gonna work, you know, because it's like people that got their stuff together, they're typically not going out seeking out toxic individuals, whether it's men or women, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and never in my life like have I ever put myself in a situation where I'm like, damn, my sole existence is just to be like a goddamn slave, like just facts. Working like so hard, like just to give my money away to like a woman, like, you know, not even like my ex-wife like was like that. So yeah, I couldn't really see, and even like the women that I surrounded myself by, like with, like anytime I spot like some type of gold digging bitch or whatever, like I'm just gonna cut her off. I'll fuck her, right? But I'll just cut them off. You know what I mean? Like as far as like, you know, my damn, I can't say love or whatever, right? Because I don't love them, but you know what I mean? Like I cut them off my time, right? Unless if like they have some type of useful utility at that moment that could be actually beneficial. But anyways, let me go ahead. I'm gonna play that reference that Anton was talking about because you guys definitely need to hear this. So play this.
In my side in that situation was that I had given up so much control of myself that when he snatched everything from me, I was left rebuilding myself.
See, that's the problem, and that's why I pay my woman $250,000 a year. So if anything happens, she feels disrespected, I done something out of the character that she doesn't approve of, she has a safety net. And that $250,000 doesn't go to nothing but her in a bank account that I have no access to. Real men want to see you succeed.
My man be doing
Now
the
you
elite
have
tricking.
men that wanna control you.
Yeah. So you believe in keeping your assets, like she has a bank account that you have no access to. Does that mean you have that as well?
No. My money is her money and her money is her money. My money is her money and her money is her money. She has access to all my bank accounts.
Yeah, see, my situation was like that. The thorn in my side in that situation was that I had given up so much control of myself that when he snatched everything from me, I was left rebuilding myself.
See, that's the problem. And that's why I pay my woman $250,000 a year.
I think it's
so if anything happens, she feels disrespected. I think
it's repeating now. I don't think this
she has a safety net.
No. It's still
$250,000 doesn't go
to
nothing but her in a bank account that I have no access to. Real men want to see you succeed. Now you have men with money that want to control you.
Yeah. So you believe in keeping your assets, like she has a bank account that you have no access to. Does that mean you have that as well?
No. My money is her money and her money is her money. My money is her money and her money is her money. She has access to all my bank accounts.
Yeah, see, my situation wasn't like that. The thorn in my side in that situation was that I had given up so much.
Okay.
Disgusting.
In another video, right? Okay. I thought this was going to be the one where I'm just going to say it, right? So in one of the other videos, because it was multiple videos that Stan sent out, right? Shout out to Stan.
Let me see if I can find it.
It was a woman that was next to him on the right side, and she was like, she's what was it, celibate, or she wanted to go out.
She was celibate for 2 years, but
for 2 years. And I just remember the advice that he told her was that, okay, start dating multiple rich men, but withhold like your vagina from them.
But even that clip that you played, man. So does he have like multiple women that he's dealing with? Because he said he pays them like 200. Did
he say them or one?
Well, even if it's one, because I ain't catch it all the way, but just say he's paying her $250,000. You know, that's crazy that you feel like you have to pay somebody. I get what he's saying, like, hey, man, I'm trying to make her comfortable where she has a safety net. But see, this is where, like, I think a lot of guys mess it up. And this is why, like, I took the approach with my wife. Because I did see, like, traditional women that got divorced. My mom was one of them. Like, she didn't have any skill sets. And when they got divorced, you know, my dad made sure, like, she had money and stuff. But even the money he was giving her, you know, it wasn't like, it couldn't accommodate a good lifestyle. Because, you know, people have to operate off a budget. So it's just like when I saw that dynamic, I was like to my wife, I was like, hey, man, like, let's both excel, because if anything ever happens, man, like, and I like the point where Anton was kind of even breaking down in you know, when he first kind of started talking, he was like, hey, man, life happens and you never know. Like, people lose jobs. We see people getting laid off all the time. People get injured, you know. So, you know, with my wife, I was like, hey, man, if we both excel, you know, if something ever happens, man, you're going to be whole and you could use your mindset versus like in these cases, say like Yada, he's giving her money, say they break up. Dudes don't hand out money like they think in their mind. Everybody pretty much lawyers up. And then it's just like, you know, they're done after that. Because, you know, nobody wants to take care of somebody they're no longer with. That's just the reality. So, yeah, that's why I think like it's important sometimes for people to go out there and get actual skill sets and stuff that they could utilize. So like we were saying, my wife makes over, you know, $200,000. She really don't need me financially, but she's there because of like all the other intangibles I bring to the table and stuff.
Yeah.
Very submissive and all that and stuff. Like I said, I got the leadership in the household, but I don't abuse it. But like we both excel together. And then, so yeah, it's just like him, he feels like he has to pay for everything. And then it's just like, man, you can't get a woman that's capable. So it's almost in a way, it's like a lot of time, like these type of dudes, it's low key an insult to the women they with. Cause it's like, is your woman, you just view her as not being smart and capable of anything? Cause like when I saw my wife, I'm like, man, you're smart, you're intelligent. Shoot, let's both go out here and kill it. You know, the stage is big enough for both of us. So yeah, sometimes I think it's like a lot of guys don't hear what they're saying. And it's just almost like, damn, you don't see your chick as being smart and offer up any value besides like throwing a load of laundry in the wash and making you a sandwich. Like y'all ain't got a Subway around you or anything. Like, yeah, this shit crazy, man.
Let me play this video because this is the part that I was looking for, and now I finally found it.
For 2 years.
Okay.
I know that's right, Jordan.
I would like to do a year. I was celibate for 2 years.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'm coming out of my celibacy. I kind of want to have a phase where I have 3 hoes.
Whole face.
3 hoes.
Come on, rotation.
Well, wait, hold on. Let me pause it real
Like,
quick.
for a little bit. Like,
I just caught that. I admire the wordplay. She wanted to be in her phase, and then she had the audacity to call the men hoes, 3 hoes. All right, yeah, that's ironic, right? Anyway.
Yeah, she flipped it on them. She put the hoe onus on them. She was like, yeah, they're the hoes, even though I'm asleep with all 3 of them.
Right. Ain't gonna be in my phase, right? My good girl phase, but I'm just gonna mess with some hoes. Okay.
And look at your boy Yada over there kikiing and shit, hearing this nonsense. And
he's like, yeah, I'm gonna make a bag off of this. Watch what I'm gonna say.
Oscar, just because I've never done that. But
Now, when you say coming out of your celibacy, are you out of it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But, then I got ghosted, so that's a whole other story.
Mm.
But
That man has some good
I'm
sense.
gonna have like a little Tuesday, a little Wednesday, a little Saturday.
Right.
Rotation.
But she
Right.
knows when she wants. So what do you think about that?
I say date them all. and let the richest
Sucker
man
shit.
that love
Are
you
they?
win.
And so what do I do? Like, I don't even know where to, A, I don't know where to find them.
Mhm.
B, I don't know what to say. I'm so out of the game.
It's so hard to tell if somebody has money too or not.
You know what I'll tell you?
Oh God.
Date them all, but keep your vagina to yourself.
Okay. That's not what she wants.
Yeah,
though.
she's
But
already out of the
but listen to what I'm saying to you. Date them all, but keep your vagina to yourself, because the one that's just playing with you, he's not gonna last. He's gonna show, because he's gonna move you on to the next one.
Okay.
Because you're pretty, so a lot of men will try and get you to sleep with you.
So how long do I have to do that before I can actually get, just because clearly she wants some physical attention.
Now, what if you would be like, you want to sleep with me? $50,000.
Facts.
Because that's advice you would give, right?
that's what I'm saying, man. He a trick, man. That's why I told you, man. Tricks. Don't listen to Tricks. He promoted prostitution, man. Like, so, after hearing that, and this is how you know this guy ain't shit, man. And I'm just going there right now. So shout out to Anton for pointing it out.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just like, man, if this is the advice you're giving, you told men to go heal and stuff. So I could get behind that. Like, if I heard a guy that was like saying certain things, I'd be like, hey, man, you need to get your shit together. But on the same side, like, if a female was talking to me like that, I'd be like, hey, man, you need to heal and get your shit together. Because obviously something ain't right up in your mindset. You don't need to be going and merging it with a guy. Say they're good dudes, got their shit together. You're going to poison them. Vice versa. Like, a guy that don't have his shit together, that's what's happening. So it's just like, man, that's what's messing up the community and shit like that. So for him to sit there and be speaking a word but then this is the advice you're giving, it's like, man, you full of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out to Rich on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, big time full of shit, because, bro, like, if that was the case, right? Let's get to the prostitution aspect, right? Because, yeah, it is. It is a straight line of prostitution. There's no way around it. Oh, if I want to sleep with you, I'm gonna give you $50,000.
$50,000?
Technically, right? You just degraded. You really degraded that woman without even intentionally doing it. Because the thing is, you're pretty much like sending a message for these men that, look, women ought to be paid for, not cared for. And the reason why I'm saying that, because here's the thing. Let's just say if I really needed a prostitute or a hooker or whatever, right? Bro, there's plenty of prostitutes just for maybe $500, right? So you talking about $50,000, $500, man. Like, you just get like a emotionless woman with no attachment. You ain't gotta take her on dinner dates. You ain't gotta spend on luxury stuff or whatever. You ain't even gotta marry her. You pay her enough. Hey, she might be like you might be like her loyal customer. You know what I mean? Maybe she might give you some discounts or whatever, right? After she give you like a little bit of like lollipop head and all that, man, you could just let her be on her way and then she could come back. But you're talking about $50,000 to sleep with someone that's not even worth like $20 or whatever. I understand said like in the back check or whatever, but look, I ain't gonna lie, man. I don't pay for women. That's my motto to it.
That.
You know, I don't even pay on dates like that shit. That's how cheap I am. You know, but
and that's what I'm saying, man. And the more and more you like, I'm glad you found this clip because it's just like, hey, that's what I'm saying, man. If you listen to his mindset, man, it's like pay, which shows, man, it's just a guy with no charm, no charisma, terrible with ladies. So it's like that's all he has to offer. And like you were saying, it's just like, nah, man, if you work on yourself and you truly like do the work, it's like, man, you could go get an ice cream cone and be good, man. Like just kicking it with somebody and you cracking jokes, you got the humor and stuff, and they like you, they're attracted to you. It's like, man, you don't have to spend a ton and shit. And like you said, they'll treat you also. So it's just like, man, this is a weak dude, man. Like, and for them to put like the 50,000 on there, it's just like, man, that's how you value yourself too. Because the dude's not gonna, that would entertain that shit. Something's wrong with his mindset. Like any dude that tricks, they tend to jump around. They're going to spend money on somebody else. So that's what I'm saying. It's like short term. It's like, man, these dudes typically don't stay with one female. They're going to go find another female that's going to sell themselves to. So it's like, they're not going to stick with you when you're getting older and shit. They're going to jump to the newer version and stuff like that. And then that's why you see a bunch of older females that have this mindset like, damn, I can't find nobody. What happened? I'm getting ghosted. So it's just like, man, it's a cyclical cycle that everybody's doing, man. So it's like, this shit ain't gonna work. And he's leading them into the fire, man. So that's what I'm saying. A lot of females that buy into this shit, it's just like, man, you're kind of highlighting that after him, Derek Jackson and all these other dudes, like, man, y'all just want a feel-good message and you're cool with like you're destroying your lives, man, and you don't embrace logic. You know, that's what it's starting to highlight. Because ain't nobody with no common sense that understand like how things operate should be even like entertaining this dude. Be like, man, shut that shit up. Like,
I mean, the thing that's sickening to it, right, is because now you're setting a precedence of setting like men who are really seeking out for like relationships. You're making it hard for them because now they gotta go through the whole ringer of women that feels like they're entitled because, you know, we giving them that entitlement, bro. Like, women will fall in line to who we are accordingly. But when you have a mass majority of simp men that's telling other men and women that, hey, you're more valuable than we are, that right there, man, just like really messes up like the heads of these relationships. And that's why you have like all this toxicity that's going on because no one's ever content and satisfied. Matter of fact, I shouldn't have stopped that first.
But real quick, there's one point you said. I disagree a little bit. Man, I think guys gotta like wire their minds to be a little different. So it's like, man, when you hear females like this, man, you should be happy, man, because they're letting you know. Because like back in the days, I think people look at the past a lot. They're like, oh man, it was so different. It was like, nah, man, I think the women concealed these like inner thoughts a little bit more. But now, man, when they're vocalizing it, it's like, man, you know, these type of chicks, like, you should be dodging. They're doing you a favor by speaking out in the public. So I get it. Guys are like, nah, man, it's harder. It's like, actually, it's good. It's like, oh, that's how you view yourself. You put a price tag on the box. And then, like I told guys before, man, like even with the 50-50 shit, the reason why I did that at a young age, I was like, man, I know if I tell a female, like, hey, look, you need to be on board. You're going to be working with me. Here's the... You know, it's managing expectations pretty much. It's like, hey, this is how I operate. I'm not no trick. You with me, you go, then this is how we gonna move forward. So that's where the leadership is. And the females that's gonna rock with you, they're gonna get on board. They're gonna be like, yeah, I'm cool with doing that. And then the ones that's like wanna use dudes and, you know, like yada and stuff, they're gonna be like, nah, I'm gonna go find a sucker that's gonna pay for my life. So it's like, you gotta separate the pack out. And that's where guys are so scared to do. Cause it's just like, I think dudes like yada, they want everybody to like them. I don't want everybody to like me. I need you to, if you were a gold digger, get the fuck away from me. Like, take your shit bounce. So I'm glad like they do like put it out in the public. Like, hey, this is how I operate. You got to do this for me. I'm like, I'll curve these chicks.
Well, think about that. That's a better way to put it. You know what I mean? Yeah. To kind of like decipher like the BS. I'm going to go back to like that video, right? That we reacted to like before this shit.
Oh, okay.
And because I forgot to, here we go. Let me see if I could kind of zoom in real quick. Oh yeah, this is perfect.
Oh, that's the comments you was talking about.
Yeah, let me see how this looks from here. Okay, so I think they could, the people in the chat could see it, right? Okay, so underneath the comments where all women in relationships should get paid 6 figures. All a man has to do is provide. But women in relationships become cooks, consultants, excuse me, massage therapy. I mean, goddamn, you're gonna definitely massage my feet if I'm paying your ass or whatever. My shit ain't free. Psychiatrists, corn stars, maids, consultants, mothers, which is a 24/7. Okay, what about whatever, right? 24/7 job with no sick days. If you put women back on the pedestal, every generation after us will become more peaceful and happy. You was talking about that pedestal shit, right? Facts. Be joyful that they are exposing themselves because they will be asking why no one want me. Definitely, Roddy. Yep. And what I left off at? Pedestal. After every generation after us will become more peaceful and happier. When you elevate a woman, you elevate a nation. If fathers didn't teach you, I am. Oh, hell no. NDBA, no dusty bums allowed. Oh, shit. Okay. So,
hey, hold on. Let's break down that his comment.
Yeah. Let's do that.
And this is the thing, man. Like,
salute, Great Pill.
Being a husband and a wife is not a job, and this is why people are fucked up nowadays. It's a responsibility. It's a service to the other person. So a job, you make money, man. So like when people try to, being a parent is our father, our mother is the hardest job. It's like, it ain't no damn job. It's your responsibility. And then the flip side, it's just like with people like Yada and shit, where they got a bad mindset.
Yeah.
It's just, say like a female, she's single and she's doing all this stuff for herself. You should be an adult and be able to do it inside of a relationship. So the fact that like a lot of people pitch like, oh my God, if a female gets with you and she pays some bills and she has to work and she can't be nice and respect you, it's just like, man, she's kind of telling on herself. Because it's like, okay, well, let's use that same train of thought. Okay, you was out there single, paying for yourself, respecting everybody else. But now that you come to me, like you have no respect no more, that don't even stand the test of time. It's like you was you had other relations with other guys that wasn't paying your bills. But now you're going to come to your husband and give him the worst deal and the worst treatment. That's what I'm saying, man. This is what they're typically pitching. And that's why I'm like, dudes are stupid for taking these type of deals. Cause it's just like the ultimate form of disrespect. It's like, hell, if you was nice to everybody else and you was out there, you got past relations, you ain't about to come to me and dictate that, oh, unless you pay for my bills, I'm not going to respect you. Why the fuck are you even here then? And that's why I'm saying a lot of these men are weak, because it's just like, hey, nobody that don't respect you and they're coming and dictating your terms, why are they even around you? Wait,
I gotta jump in this part.
My bad, man.
Because that's what Anton was trying to point out. Because he's like, if the dude that you was with, right, couldn't even stomach to put up with you and would rather pay child support, right, as opposed to just like sticking with you in the long term, what makes you think that this next dude, right, should be doing the same thing, but yet giving you more than what the previous dude had to offer? And I know plenty of dudes, right? I'm sorry, plenty of women, right, who is now reformed again with their mindset of thinking, and now they want to place certain requirements, but then yet you had baby daddies or you had a bad relationship with one person, you got 4 or 5 or 6 kids by this person, and he's talking down to you, treating you like shit or whatever, and yet because he is the father of your kids, you're still gonna put up with him as opposed to put up with the next person.
Yeah, no, and that's what I'm saying. A lot of times people reveal themselves like what they are willing to accept. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of guys. That's why, man, I try not to do a lot of like, because somebody was like, hey man, come and debate somebody about the 50-50. I'm like, man, I'm not about to debate you guys. Like, if you feel like you have to pay 100% to get respect, like, man, you're weak as fuck. And I'm, I don't need to explain my position in life, man. Like, whoever's gonna be with me, I'm gonna be in a leadership position. And if you don't respect me, you're not with me. It's just that simple. So I don't understand how guys don't get this philosophy, and it's just like, if you had like past relations and shit with people, which most people do, that's, we got to just be honest with it. It's like, okay, so all those guys paid all your bills and you respected them a little bit. So now you're going to you're supposed to give your husband the best deal out of anybody you're with. So I demand the best deal because I'm that confident in myself. So a lot of these guys, that's what I'm saying. They're not going to come out and say this stuff, but it's just like, what they accept is reflected in how they feel about their confidence level. So like a dude like Yada and all them, man, they, like I said, is pedestalizing. They, the females, like, I settled for this guy because they don't have that attraction. It's like, you got to pay for my time. And really, that's all this shit is, And it's just crazy that, like, it's like to accept that deal as a guy, like, you view yourself as like the bottom of the barrel. Mm-hmm. This shit is crazy. Ain't no way in hell I'm gonna allow somebody to disrespect me like that. Like, oh, you're gonna be the guy that's gonna pay for everything, even though all those other bums ain't do it. Like, hell no. Hell no. Baby girl, you ain't willing to work for me? Get the hell on. Like, I'm good by myself. I don't need no help spending my money. Like, I don't understand these train of thoughts, man. It's just crazy to me. That's why I stay away from like tricks, dog. That's why I told you I got a no tricking policy. You a trick, just stay in your corner. I'll stay over in mine, man. Sorry about that. I know you wanted to read it. No, you good. Actually, actually still cooking. What's up, Great Pill? I seen him in the chat. And Wally.
Yeah, that's another video. Hold on, I'm gonna get to the comments down below, but there was another video where, let me see if this is the one where he actually shows off like his. Oh yeah, this is the one. Hold on, I gotta.
Hey, y'all get into the paper though. He got a nice ass house.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm not knocking what he does, man, and hey, if whatever he does, man, I don't know if that's all like YouTube money or maybe he has some type of business or whatever. But I mean, still shout outs, man, to the brother, man. He's still successful, but again, I'm not going to be using my money to be tricking off a no bride. All right?
Nah.
Yeah. Let me see if I can get. Okay, let me see. Let me zoom in real quick.
Hey, I'll give me a 300-pound chick before you see me out here tricking.
Oh shit!
I'll get one of those 1,000-pound sisters, whatever the.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Pay attention to this video, y'all.
Woman is a requirement. 150,000 per child when she gives birth. 150,000 every year after that until the child's 18. Her hair done once a week, nails done once a week, makeup done whenever she wants to. Shopping sprees around the world, anywhere she wants to shop at and buy whatever she wants. Her finances is not maintained. She's not allowed to pay for any bills, open any doors, or take out any trash. I love bathing her. I love bringing her breakfast in bed. She's my woman. I love to see her soft. She is my woman. I brought her into my life so I can elevate her, love on her, and cherish her. And I know you can't outlove a good woman. So I don't get kudos for pampering my woman. I'm supposed to do that. And when she pours back onto me, it only comes from God. I can't purchase that. So when I love a good woman and she's standing next to me, she's elevating me. My woman is my attire. I don't need jewelry. She's my crown. She's my gem. She's everything. I'm supposed to pamper my woman. I don't get room for that. That's my woman. I took her from the
flower. Let me zoom out real quick.
God. I told you, man, he's an elite trick, dog. Like, if you want to be a trick, man, like, definitely subscribe to him. Like, he should have like seminars for tricks. Like, look, he took it to elite levels. My man, like in the Olympics of that. Him and Derek Jackson, like, if they have like an Olympic race for this, like, they silver and gold.
Right.
But yeah, Yada was happy to like, what he say, like 100,000 per child? My man had like a incentive structure. 150K
more in addition to, so basically when you're engaged, when you're dating, it is 50K for you because we're dating. When you're engaged, going to the aisle, it's another 50K. Then you got to buy the house for you and your wife, which whatever depends on the cost of the house, right? And then once that person married to you, now you're giving her 250K per year, right? Just because now she's carrying your last name per child. In addition to the in addition to the 250K, now you're paying her plus 150K for each kid. I don't know how many kids do we have, but if we have one, she's already banking off of 400K yearly. And salutes to On the Spot Live, Sister I Am. Thank you so much. Happy Saturday to you. But look, I don't care where my financial bracket is at. I am not. I refuse to spend any money, right? I mean, a yearly salary like that, like, come on, like, that is, to me, it's like, it's not realistic for most men. And if I was already like at the elite top or whatever, why would I waste my money for someone like that that's not going to really love me for me? You know, that's only going to stick around for my resources. If that's the case, like, again, this is the same guy that says spend $50,000 if you want to have sex with a prostitute. Basically, that's what he's telling you. But hopefully,
yeah, man. Like I said, man, the dangers with those type of relationships. Because I mean, we all in this space, man. We see a lot of celebrities get divorced, and the female takes a lot of money and stuff. So pretty much that's the situation he's in. Like when we see like a Tyrese or something, it's just like that woman's racking up that paper, and eventually, obviously, if she's even, accepting that incentive structure instead of just like, hey, man, put that money to our family, our house and stuff. Mm-hmm. We can invest it. Let's start a mortgage company. Nah, she's like, give me the money so I could go buy handbags and stuff. Like, man, she's already kind of letting you know, like, I don't like you. And there's a time where eventually they check out when they get that safety net built up, where she's like, hey, I got enough money now. I could get away from this bum. Because I really don't like him. I want to go out there. I want to get with somebody I actually like. I'm financially secure now. And that's what tends to happen. We see it play out all the time. You see like Kevin Costner, Johnny Depp, what I'm saying? So it's just like they got way more money than Yada. And if we see it playing out at this level, like with all these other people that are like mega stars and shit, it's just like, man, it's probably going to happen to him too. And it's just like, man, when you go through that, it's sad, because it's like you set yourself up for a situation where you brought somebody into your life that don't like you, man, and you have to incentivize them to stay. So it's like he could put all this imagery out there where it looks like good, but it's just like, man, deep down inside, like a person that with his mindset, a trick, and they despise the situation that they actually are in. Low key, they just, because there's no way in hell you could just want to be with somebody that's just like cold and with you. You know what I'm saying? So even though they have to kick that money out, it's just like, man, you typically don't like that shit. So it's like, oh, I got a trophy woman. But it's like, man, when she goes home, she's disrespecting this dude. Like, man, get your dumb ass off me. Time you lay up on her, she's like checking out. She's like, oh man, it's Friday. I gotta give him some. Like, where's the wine? You know what I'm saying? She gotta get drunk to be with you, man. Who wants to be in some shit like that? Like, nah, get somebody that likes you, and you don't have to do none of that. Y'all can invest in y'all legacy, your future. So that's what I'm saying, man. Something's wrong with him. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna laugh, man, if one day I find out that his broad, aka his wife, decides to cheat on him and sleep with like a broke dude. Since he's always like, shitting on like middle class people and any other person that refuses to put women on a pedestal. And then Great Pill says, LL, that's that beta mindset, M3. You gotta be an alpha male, bro.
Well, just look at Jeff Bezos' wife.
Bezos,
I think when they got a divorce, she got with
A teacher.
Giselle Bundchen got with like a karate instructor. So it's like, man, when women get that cash, they go and chase what they like, actual like attraction and what they want is somebody they actually like. So yeah, like if Yada keeps this shit up, she gonna cash out. She gonna be with a dude at like Foot Locker and Applebee's and shit.
Wait, on the spot, are you talking? Let's see. What do you mean? How so? Are you talking about Gray Pill where he says that it's that beta mindset empty? You gotta be an alpha male, bro, or are you talking about like what we're talking about as far as, you know, protecting your wealth? But not just foolishly, like just spending your money on someone that doesn't really like you for you. I just need some context real quick. You comment broad before. Oh, okay, I think there probably in the chat. No, okay, on the spot, she was like replying to like, because I said broad or whatever. I was saying that you can't just be spending your money on like on all these like type of broads or whatever.
Yeah, I probably said it too, man. Yeah, that's just my lingo.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's just another word for me to not say, you know, bitch all the time. But let me go to the comments real quick because this is where it gets funny. So again, this is a person that, again, he's okay being a panderer, okay putting like, you know, women who don't really. And here's the thing. I get that if you personalize on someone who's actually showing their worth, who's proving their worth to you, who's letting you know that, hey, I'm gonna ride or die for you, no matter what, even if you're hitting rock bottom, I'm still gonna stick by your side. That's the type of stuff that I will probably agree to as far as you making that type of personalization, right? Someone who's actually earned it. But this dude's talking about women that hasn't earned anything, but because they're beautiful, they deserve to have everything in the world, while in the meantime, they don't even care about your true existence like that. So yeah. But let me see.
Yeah, Loving Kennedy, she's trying to sign up. Loving Kennedy's like, shit, let me come and get my cut.
Right. What he do for a living. And Skipper says
said he a con artist.
Okay, let's see. This person says that I'm all for a man being a provider. Oh wait, what's these 3 thoughts for? Oops, my bad. I'm all for a man being a provider. Oh, and actually, that's a guy that's saying this. I'm all for a man being a provider. That's what I was raised to be, and I never not live up to my duties. But when you set unrealistic expectations in a world that is less than 10% that makes a kind of income, I would have to wonder, are you an agent here to cause confusion and more separation between the black community, basically black male, female, or are you really trying to help? I'm gonna stop at that point real quick before I go down even more. I think dude actually did pose a really good question on that one because are you the type of person that you're trying to bridge like the gaps between the black community, like, and try to give your advice based off of maybe your ideology of successful relationships? Or are you just using this to pretty much like rip the community apart even further? And I feel like by the way how he's tearing most men down, it just doesn't really help, you know?
Well, that's why I showed those numbers earlier, because it's just like, you could even remove race. Because when I gave those numbers, like 2 to 3% of people only make a 300K to 180. And then if you want to take it even further, like only 5% earn over 200,000, and that includes men, women. Like I said, it's not even race focused. So black is probably like 1.1 something if you want to break it down to that level of. So it's just like ain't no community, whatever he's pitching could fall within those parameters that he's doing. But what he's doing is just like, I'm up here, I do this, so I want people to kind of pedestalize my lifestyle and put me on that pedestal. So I'm gonna shit on all men, and I'm gonna set these unrealistic like terms like, oh, you got to have 300K in your bank account. you're not a masculine man if you don't do what I do type of thing. So it kind of separate, like I said, he's trying to separate himself out the pack. Like, hey, I got this amount of money. I got ABCD. I do this. My wife has this luxury lifestyle where she really doesn't do shit. Be like me, ladies. And if a guy's not like me, you know, they're not masculine. And by the way, buy my course coming out next week. It's $2,000, ladies, sign up. So that's all this that's all this shit is. It's a marketing campaign for like I said, trying to separate himself out the pack.
Yeah. Actually, hold on for 1 second. My goddamn birds won't shut up, so I'll be right back.
But yeah, this all this is. This is somebody trying to just chat. Let me know, like, so do y'all feel like people that follow somebody, I'll say like Yada, are they delusional? Because I get it. I could understand, like, if people are like, hey, I want a provider and stuff like that. I do want to stay at home with my kids, but at a certain point, don't you gotta like I said, look at the rest of the world or United States and put some numbers behind that. But like, okay, for me to get one of these guys, it's only 5%. This really ain't gonna happen to the level like I might think. So don't you have to kind of change your expectations? Because yeah, that's crazy as hell. Uh-oh, Sugar Bum said Yada is a real man. Sugar Bum, you about to get with Yada, get some of that bread? Yada said he'll give you $150,000 per child. He's gonna pay you 200-something thousand a year, 250. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. If I was a female, I'll go line his pocket. Oh shoot, I'll be done. Have his whole bank account. Sugar Bum said he's a traditional man. Y'all talk about. I don't talk about traditional. I think that shit's stupid. I think you could like take some good points from the past, and then you know you got to adapt to like modern times. So it's just like as far as like traditional, I think that shit is silly, honestly. Because it's like, if you honestly think about tradition, everybody was like kind of working on farms and stuff like that. People didn't have like 2 cars. You didn't have the cable bill. People wasn't going on like luxury trips like that. So we don't have traditional wants anymore. So I think you got to factor that in. See, me and Sugar Bum seeing eye to eye? Yeah, nah, ain't no more traditionalism. I think the only people you could actually say that like should try to follow some traditionalism if you got like inherited wealth. But besides that, I mean, if we talk all the time, like traditionally, like we wasn't really left any inheritance and it was bad. I'm like, why the hell would you kind of like follow that same blueprint then? Just kind of shows like people actually ain't leaders. They're kind of like got a sheep mentality. Because you should like take the like good points and, you know, pivot from that and try to excel. So yeah, I don't agree with the traditional stuff. But yeah, just give it a second. M3 should be coming back up. I'm gonna see if I could. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, I'm back. My bad.
No, you good.
My birds is definitely having a shitty ass week, right? Because
but you out there, you bird man and stuff. You got the pigeons out there.
Man, yeah, I'm down to like 6 birds now. 2 of them already died in 1 week. And
damn. Okay. Sorry to hear that, man.
It's all good, man. Life goes on.
What type of bird you got?
I got parakeets. So
okay.
It's you know, no shade, but it's usually like the female parakeets that's always be fighting and shit, right?
Why you sexist? No, I'm sorry.
but they're mad as hell at me right now because see, like they're used to like having like a large cage, like they had like their own bird mansion, and I pretty much reduced it down to like a Section 8 bird house. So and they really want to fly around like the goddamn apartment and just fuck up shit so bad. But
shout out to on the spot live. She said Yada is not the same person. I agree. Yeah,
it's not the same person.
It's sane. She said sane.
Oh, same person. Oh, okay. Let's see. Shout out to Sugar Bum. I see her like in the chat as well too. She says Yada is a real man in her opinion.
Yes, Sugar Bum. She's trolling.
Right. But hell, I wouldn't be surprised. She'd probably be serious though, cause look,
Well, she said,
as a woman's benefiting her, you know. I think Anton is the one that's unrealistic. Okay.
no, I don't think so, because I think like Anton's pitching, you know, like working together. So I mean, that's just the reality. You're gonna have to work with somebody. If not, hey, pay it all 100% by yourself. And it's like, if you look at the financial data, like when people are by themselves, typically they're missing out on those like investment opportunities. So it's like, man, you look at the economic data, they're saying there's going to be a retirement crisis because people are not putting away enough money. So that's what I'm saying. Like this stuff ain't working. You're supposed to just get with somebody and y'all can build together and cut those expenses and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, and shout outs to Comrade in the IG chat, man. So salute to you. Thank you for tuning in. If you're still in here.
What's good, Comrade?
Sugar Bill says most people don't meet their high school spouses, you know. I mean, it's pretty rare though. You feel me?
Yeah, maybe not even high school, but it's like, man, college, you know, shoot, when you get early in your career field, so, you know, there's other opportunities. You should be like, have awareness and be looking out for like a person with character. But yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, high school, that's far-fetched. Like,
yeah. And then let's see. Then this other person, Rama, you know, with 4.9 says 250K. That's it. Why not $500,000? I mean, might as well go out, right?
Yeah.
And then Real Estate by Natasha. She says, oh my gosh. She says, this is a real man and only women with pure hearts and good intentions deserve this type of man. Okay, all right. I wish I could do a poll right now if you guys really agree that Yada's a real man, right? Probably could do that in a YouTube chat, but let me see. On the spotlight says he's rebranded, but he rebranded? What was he like before? But I distinctly remember him using the bathroom on live, which is not normal behavior. I'm shocked more people aren't bringing that up. To be honest with you, on the spot live, like I didn't really know who Yada was until like, you know, I saw like portions of the debate on a Harley initiated podcast with Anton Daniels. Okay.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I definitely disagree, you know. But let's see. Yada is right. Men need to get themselves together first and then start a family. I think everybody should really like get their mental and their financial. I mean, get your whole entire life together before like, you know, fucking up someone else's life. And that goes for both like men and women.
Yeah, when he says stuff like that, it's just like, yeah, I do think like men gotta get themselves together. But like I was saying before, I'm like, you know, women gotta get themselves together too, because like if you both want to attract like healthy people, which equally yoked and stuff like that, it's just like, man, both men and women got to get their stuff together. If not, you're going to be attracting a toxic person and stuff like that. Because nobody's going to wait around for you to get your stuff together. Because typically people are going to seek out people that, you know, are attractive, not just like physical attraction, but like got a healthy mindset that's generous and stuff like that. So yeah, both people got to work on themselves.
Yeah. Men should be brought up. Okay.
No, everybody should be brought up, because if you're talking about a relationship, it's two people. So a lot of times we fixate on like one side. Yeah. Then it's just like, I get it. Like if I'm going in on men for the most part, you know, I will try to stay on men. But with that being said, it's just like sometimes you do got to give information to the other side, because that's what growth is. Yeah. Because it's almost like, hey, if we're going in on guys, I'll be like, hey, women, y'all need to avoid these attributes, and vice versa. It's just like, hey, you know, man, you might want to avoid a person with this mindset and go get the women that are like healthy minded and stuff like that. So you could talk about multiple things in a conversation and stuff. You don't have to just always water it down where it's just like honed in and narrow like that. Yeah, and everything always takes two. Generally, most will wait around, but depending on how long and the situation. In the chat, right? Manifesting this kind of man. This is the type I will submit and build up. You should already kind of have that type. Well, let me stop. Women or woman. Freeze right? On that one real quick. Till, the one that's like, this is the type I will submit and build up. Yeah, right here. It's like, no, you won't.
He said no. Okay.
Yeah. Because it's like if you don't have a mindset, I think people think sometimes it's like, man, if you generally ain't that from the jump, when you look for somebody for just character and not just money, it's just like, man, you're not gonna just get with somebody and then like submit like that. That's typically not how it works. It's
Well,
like
you're
a
not gonna be
mindset
submitted
thing.
to the man. You're just gonna be submitted to the almighty dollar, right? Just like work.
Sugar Bum said, hold on real quick. Sugar Bum said, femininity is conditional. See, that's the issue. Feminine just means feminine qualities and traits. So if it's conditional, that means like, what, you're conditionally a woman? Are you just a woman like 24/7? You know, like, so you're, even if you're by yourself, you should be just feminine. Just so like if I'm, with masculinity, I'm going to be masculine if I'm by myself. I'm going to be masculine, like, if I'm with somebody, it shouldn't be conditional.
No, actually,
if you're a good person, you're a good person.
You know what's best said? Providing is conditional then. If feminine is conditional, me providing for you is conditional as well too. That's the way how I would just say it, just simple as that.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
Yeah. All men don't get the same femininity, right? Okay.
No, they don't. I don't think they get the same treatment, but femininity. That's like I said. This is like, man, if you switch being a feminine based on where you at, then you're probably not, like I said, a stable person.
Mm-hmm. This woman that's sipping on her pina colada right now, which isn't my favorite drink, but still, she says, "I am manifesting this type of man into my life right now." And a person replied, "Hey, that Jim, okay, that's fucked up." But Wasabi India, right? She's pretty. She says, "If he doesn't agree with Yada's teachings, block him."
You said,
okay. I thought I could just like block her, like just like that, but whatever, right? I don't want to report her, but 16 replies into this one. I ain't gonna read all that shit. Okay, my man is like this. Ladies, remain patient and continue working on self. Okay.
See, well, real quick, man, here's the definition of feminine. Having qualities or an appearance traditionally associated with women or girls. So like, I mean, it is pretty broad. So I see what kind of Gray Pill's saying now, but I mean, still like typically, man, people like, and as an adult, you should be like consistent. So like if people tend not to be consistent, there's something wrong with them, because not saying like you got to go, you could be nice and genuine to people. You don't have to sit there and like submit. So I do agree, like you don't submit with just anybody. They got to kind of earn that. Like that should come down the line once you guys like actually see stuff, but you could still be like I said, a level-headed person when you meet up with people.
Right. I want to read these last two. This person says, wow, he's such a real man. And a real man doing real things. Yeah, real simp things too.
But see, like I said, a lot of females, they're gonna love this messaging, but it's just like it just don't happen. And we seen it with Derrick Jackson. It was like, man, he painted that same picture that he was like cheating on his wife. So that's why I'm saying it's like, man, eventually you gotta have like a brain. You gotta exercise some common sense and logic, where it's just like, okay, man, like I said, most guys don't make this amount. And so like, okay, even if the guys make that amount, are they going to be even attracted to you? Because, and that's what I'm saying. It's almost like everybody's looking at this from like a little kid perspective. And it's kind of sad, man, when you start.
Salutes to Smitty. He says, don't listen to shit Sugar Bones got to say. It's all a lie. Damn. Sugar Bum, to have well-balanced and forward-thinking conversations. You sure do. Okay. Great Pill also says, here are a few perspectives: social constructs and cultural conditioning, conditional femininity and social roles, personal and situational choices. Shout out to everybody in chat. Like, I see like 11 o'clock was the sweet spot. Y'all probably just came in there like just to read us, like talk shit in the comments, right? But thank you guys for tuning in. Also, make sure you guys get the likes up on Knowledge Relationships on YouTube. and definitely subscribe. That's all I came to say. Salutes to M3 and Sophisticated Jerk. Salutes to you, salutes to you, Smitty. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, shout out to Smitty.
Yeah.
But that was a good point that like Gray Pill, that's some good when he's talking about social constructs, cultural conditioning, conditional femininity, and social roles. So yeah, I mean all that makes sense. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. The last comment I'm going to read is like a lot of men be up in open arms over Yada's outlook on men being providers, but not once have I ever heard this man say men should provide for every woman. He always says men should provide for their woman, and if you have a woman, your woman that you do not provide for, then you need to look within. That was a little wordy though, but I get what she was trying to say. Basically, she's come to the defense that only focus on the prostitute / gold digger that you decide to wife up as your woman, right? Yeah, I get it.
No, it's stupid because it's just like at the end of the day, like the whole purpose of anything is just, man, you should be moving with logic. So like, you know, I always tell people, I'm like, man, like go talk to a financial, person that could help you map out your future, because it's just like, say like a guy is only making like 70,000 and say he does become 100% provider, and he's paying for everything. He's going to be so financially burdened that he's not going to be able to top off his like 401k plan. So say like you got a stay-at-home mom at that range.
Yeah.
It's just like now you guys are screwed like when you try to retire because he can't put that money away. So that's what I'm saying. All these comments are cute, but it's just like, man, you're not putting logic behind any of these dots. So it's just like you might not be able to do that with somebody. And it's just like, so eventually you might have a crash course. You might have to go out there and work when you're like 50. We see a lot more older people like getting back in the workforce and stuff because they didn't properly plan out. And it was crazy, man, to go to this topic. Just a couple weekends ago, my wife's mom and aunt came down there. So they're hitting their 70s and stuff. And we started talking about retirement. And she was just like, hey, man, a lot of us females were lied to. Because she was like, now that we're like in our 70s and stuff, we can't retire because we don't have the financial backing and stuff. We didn't save enough money. We didn't put money away. So it's just like, I get it, man. People want a certain lifestyle, but it's just like, man, like you can't do it. We don't have pensions anymore. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like people are just living in such a fairy tale like land now, instead of like going there and saying like, hey, you know what? I done crunched the numbers with a financial person. I'm gonna need about this much for retirement. I'm just gonna have to work. I'm gonna have to suck it up and be an adult. So yeah, it's like people are just being retarded at this point.
Yeah. Shout out to Bruiser. I see you in the chat. Welcome back. Sugar Bum says, is Jerk saying women need a soul for 50-50 men?
No, I'm just saying I don't tell people what they need to do. I'm just saying like, hey, if you're paying 100%. And data shows like everybody's not able to save enough for retirement. It's not a bad thing to work with somebody, whatever it's a 50-50. So me and my wife, we do 50-50 and we're millionaires now. So you could do it the right way where it's not a burden on anybody. And like I said, if you pay your debt down, you both work to pay your debt. Yeah. You don't have nothing to argue about. Your bills is paid for. So yeah, you should work with somebody if you find the right person, because hell, eventually if y'all work together, pay everything off, you're winning anyways. So that should be the goal, to win with somebody versus like, oh, I want to be at the house or this other person wants to do something. It's like, hey, let's both win and we can both chill out and enjoy life together.
Yeah, that's right. I'm gonna play a little bit of this video. I know we really kind of like, I want to say we jumped a whole lot, but it was definitely well worth it because we had to definitely give you guys like valuable content. Like I couldn't just like play something that Anton said without actually showing like the video.
Hold on real quick. Real quick, just to answer Sugar Bum's question. So I can't speak for everybody's household, And that's why I think so many people, they get like bad philosophies in their mind and they want to be like, oh, if you're in a 50-50, you're not a leader, or if you pay 100%, you're a leader. To me, that's corny, because like a true leader don't sit there and worry about whatever position he is in life. Mm-hmm. Like a true leader would go out and, like I said, in my case, you know, I learned how to pretty much invest for my family. Like I said, my wife came from like a single mother household. She didn't believe in herself. So I was like, hey, nah, I want to see you excel, do this. I was always resourceful. I networked. So like when my wife got in the medical field, like my sister was in the medical field in a high position. So like I told my sister, come talk to her. So now my wife's an executive. I'm an executive. So in my household, I'm the leader, but I'm not a dictator. And I would say I'm a leader because, like I said, I brought way more to the situation besides just money. I brought like knowledge, guidance, structure. Like I said, networking, and I was resourceful. So like you could have other intangibles besides money. So a lot of times people just see like, oh, the only way I'm going to submit to a guy is if he pays me, or, you know, you got a lot of guys that's like, they think like, if I pay 100%, I have the leadership. And, you know, the reason why is because they don't really have too many like other characteristics and attributes. They're like a one-trick pony.
Yeah. 50-50, I say both are. Depends on what and provide with one another.
And Great Pill's right. Like I said, man, you got to find a dynamic to your house. So like I said, I just say 50-50 is general. I seen other people do it successfully. So me and my wife was like, hey, man, we can operate like this to become successful. Because that's two couples that we saw, they were multimillionaires. So we're like, shit, okay, we're going to follow what they did. And it worked out. So I just think, man, you got to like I said, just put logic to whatever you want to do. It's just like, okay, say you might want to do the like 100% thing. It's like, all right, I talked to the financial person. We can't really do that right now. So maybe we put more money away. Then we could get to that phase. Or if you're financially there and you want to do that dynamic, then that's fine. But it's just like, I think people always want to pitch a one size fits all. And it's just like Great Pill said, it's like, hey, it could change, you know?
Right.
Just embrace everything. That's what I'm saying. Like, shit, don't take nothing off the table. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people are losing because they just want to, like I said, they live to the stereotypes of like society and shit. And what I said earlier when we were talking, I'm like, man, somebody told me when I was young, they were like, hey, man, you want to be in the 1%, think differently than a 99.
That's good mentorship right there.
Yeah, fuck that.
Great Pal, I like that comment as well, too, because, yeah, it could be 80-20, 60-40, 110. Like, shit fluctuates, man. It's never a set number. And the last thing she said is, like, why he called himself a jerk. He seems pretty okay. Basically, she said, you're not jerking.
Oh, I'm winning sugar bum over. Sugar bum,
Bars. All right. Let me play the video, but I'm going to see if there's any other little bits before we close out.
Date them all.
Yes, I did.
And so that absolves us.
Get a man time.
Look at the pool of women that's available to a great man that then dedicated himself. Let's say he preserved himself. Let's say he did what he was supposed to do. I'm not going to, in my right mind, tell this guy to go and marry a single baby mama. And I'm not saying that.
Hold on. So again, I didn't hear you. Just say again,
We have that conversation.
Okay, all right, we gonna get there.
Yeah,
But the point is that.
But this was accurate.
The point is that if you're gonna speak to the majority of the population, not just the majority of men that you think fit under your narrative, because they don't.
The reason why I speak to men, and this has to be highly important. I need my beautiful brother to hear this, and all the other men hear this. If we claim to be leaders, I'm going to speak to the man that's claiming he's the head. I'm not going to the woman if you're saying you're the leader or you're the head of the household. I'm saying, brother, if you want to move a certain way, do this. If your woman is upset, look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself why. If you're the leader, we can't make excuses. I can't go to my woman like, oh, you're responsible for this, that, and the third. No, what's wrong with my own leadership? Am I doing something wrong? Am I misguiding something? Am I bleeding on something? Am I taking something for granted? As a man, if we're saying that we are leaders, we have to lead at all times and not just when things are good, even when things are bad.
Speak to the context of what I just said, though.
What are you talking about, brother?
About solving for the problems in a culture. It's not just one way. See, and this is what I'm saying, that when we get to a certain point, people start to expose themselves the longer that they talk, because they only have a one-track mind. They only can speak to one demographic, because that's not the minority. It's easy to pander, but it's much more difficult to solve for a problem. If I identify the problem as the majority of women are having sex with a minority of the men and getting pregnant out of wedlock, why are we not speaking to that? Why can't we solve for that? He's speaking about something of a man that's already in a position, or a man that's already, in a sense, solved for the problems that he had in his childhood. That's not entirely.
That's not who I'm speaking to,
Hold on. That's not entirely what we're talking about. I'm talking about getting people to the starting point.
Right.
That's almost like being in debt and telling somebody how to become a millionaire.
And we just did that.
We
men,
because you
take
never
care of
even,
yourself
you never
before you get into a
acknowledge-
relationship. That's the beginning of everything.
The majority of your audience is women. Why are you speaking to men?
70% of my audience are men.
Lies. That is a lie, bro. And
Yeah,
the
that's definitely a
majority of the
fucking
women
lie.
that was in the chat before we even started this live stream was women.
So say that again.
I said that's definitely a fucking lie. Hey,
I wonder if there's like a tool where you could actually like check out like a person's YouTube page and actually see like the majority of men versus women that's actually tuning into the content.
But hey, real quick, let me great Sugar Bomb had a good comment.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, my thing is, I don't care if you pay all the bills. I'm gonna make sure my thought and opinions are heard and my feelings are taken into account. And I agree with that, because I think that's one of the things, like, also people pitch like even if they're 100% provider, they're like, I'm not getting no input. We all know that's fake. Most people, I don't care what the dynamic you are in, you know, that other person's gonna definitely have some input in their household and stuff. But that's why I'm saying, like, my wife, man, she's very capable, man. She make a lot of decisions, and I think if you're a good leader, look at it as like a business. If you start a business, that would be dumb and inefficient if a leader, like a CEO, is sitting there in the mailroom trying to make decisions and stuff.
That's
it's not even efficient. So it's just like, man, like with me, I wanted a smart woman, because I'm like, hey, if you were able to tackle stuff in the house and make these decisions, and we're both aligned, like how we view stuff, that frees me up to go and like gain more knowledge. Like I said, like learning how to invest, looking for other opportunities for us. So yeah, that's why when people mess this whole leadership shit up, it's like if you're sitting there, you want to be involved in every decision, you're not even efficient. So yeah, with me and my wife, man, we start dividing up all the tasks in the house. We put everything on the schedule. So man, we're both like hitting the gym up. We got downtime. So we just move efficiently and stuff like that. We don't worry about like all the tit things. And when she's making decisions, I'm like, I already know her mindset. She's good with money. She knows how to invest herself. So I'm like, shit, go handle that. I don't, you know, so yeah, I agree with you on that. You should, if you marry the right person, definitely, man, like get their input on stuff, and y'all should be like brainstorming and stuff. But that's why I was saying before, like guys like Yada and them, it's almost like if women actually pause and listen to them, they're low key saying their females ain't that bright and bring really nothing to the table, but spending money. So that's what I'm saying. It's low key an insult to who you with. Because like I said, if I was just like, hey, my wife just sit at the house and blow money, she'd be like, nah, I want to do something meaningful and purposeful, because she's, you know, she just don't have a lazy mindset. So that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of people reveal like how they truly think without even saying stuff.
I like that, man. Yeah, I agree to it. Let's see. We got. I was like, let's try.
Yeah, we can go ahead and close out in a couple minutes, though.
Yeah. Because we already like passing up.
Yeah,
past that 2 hour mark.
We was cooking it up, though, man.
Yeah.
No, but I think this was a good debate, though, man. Because I think like as far like these topics do need to be on the table. We got to start expanding it out. So I agree with like even Gray Pill when he was like, hey, man, like we need to start expanding these topics out. Sugar Bum has some good comments. Because I think it's so many times, man, we getting so narrow focused. So instead of like talking to people and asking questions, like I was telling you, I did with the couples that I seen doing stuff a little unorthodox. You know, I just went over there, I asked questions. I was like, hey, man, how did y'all structure your finances? How's the leadership working at it? And how's this work? You know, and me and my wife took that game and we was like, you know, forget that, you know, having those old mental roadblocks. Let's take this stuff and win. So I think more people need to be open to that, because you could piece all this stuff together and, fit it into your relationship with whoever who you with, instead of being so boxed in and be like, oh, I only want this lane. If I don't get it, I'm gonna kind of pout, be by myself and stuff. So it's just, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, no, I hear you though. And she says, I do agree. Yeah, no, but this definitely was like a definitely good topic. I feel like
But who won? Let's get the who won though. Like chat, who won this debate out of Anton and Yada? I want to see their point of views. I could say Anton won this landslide. What about you, M3?
Oh yeah, definitely Anton for sure. This is what I'm gonna do, because we have like a couple of people that's still tuning in. I want you to say like who won in the debate on the YouTube chat.
Yada won.
Okay.
Great Pill. Who you think won this debate?
There we go. And let's see if I could pin this. If it's already.
Yeah, I agree with you, Great Pill. It's like, yeah, if I was with somebody and they wasn't like, they didn't have no thoughts or nothing, man, I probably would get rid of them. I'd be like, man, I don't want you around me. Like,
I'm a little weird. A low-key freak. If I can't hear my female partner's thoughts, I was raised. My thoughts. I was raised. If a woman is scary quiet, I think he was trying to say quiet. There's a problem or a ball will drop. Hold on for a second.
What, you about to put a poll up?
I put a poll up. So far, somebody saying like 100% is Yada. So hold on, y'all not voting, bro. So
hold on, let me. I gotta pull up my YouTube. I can't let Yada win that one. Damn that.
So look, everybody, right? So there's a poll that is pinned to the top or somewhere in the YouTube chat. Look through your YouTube chat right now, and I need you guys to go ahead and click on if you're Team Anton or if you're Team Yada. Let me know. Okay. I think Yada message can reach more men. Anton isn't relatable. Okay. I disagree, but I mean, again, that's your opinion. All right, let me see. I'm Team No One. See, this is why we be having problems in the country, man. Y'all don't even, if y'all can't vote in the YouTube chat, I already know you're not voting.
So what's the percentage say right now?
All right, I'm about to close the poll like in 10 seconds. Actually, let me give them about 1 more minute.
Okay, good. Hey, y'all keep trying to y'all listen to Yada out here. Y'all gonna be eating spam in the hood with no man and shit. You're gonna have y'all out here delusional.
Let me see. All right, Wally says he voted. Okay. Most black men are raised by single moms. I think y'all is relatable. And then Great Pill says both pander to the audience. I agree with a few of Anton's points. Fried spam with mustard is nice. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna close the poll, and then I'm gonna also take a look at the votes. So let me see. All right. So the poll is closed, and let's see if StreamYard will pull it up real quick for me so I could highlight it. Maybe I have to copy and paste it, so let me see. All right, did it show up? Okay.
Sugar Bomb said spam is struggle food. Yep, y'all could be eating spam. Talk about Yada did me dirty.
All right, so here are the results. Go ahead, and I want to paste it on here. All right, so out of 5 people that watch like in YouTube currently, only 3 of you motherfuckers voted, but that's okay. So
66% Anton and 33 for Yada.
Mm-hmm. Probably that 33% definitely came from Sugar Bum, but 2 of them definitely voted for Anton for sure. Wally said he voted, so whoever was a third, kudos. I like fried bologna. All right.
Yeah, I gotta watch that too. Gray Pill.
Is it what's it called? Dragon Ball Dot?
Yeah,
something?
Dragon Ball Z. They got a new version. I'm gonna have to check it out.
It's not the one like when they like turn to like little kids, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I seen a new one, but I'm gonna have to give a Gray Pill on them on that Wally.
Yeah. Well, look, everybody, right? I guess we're gonna just go ahead and close this out, man. This was definitely good. I know we didn't get all the way down to the end of it. Actually, matter of fact, let me scroll. Oh, okay. At the end they had people chiming in, commenting, I guess.
Hold on, let's watch a little bit before we roll out. I want to see what they kind of say. What they.
All right. Oh, this is his wife right now. Yada's wife. Hold on. They'd have brought her up on there. I wanted to have brought Rita up on there too.
I think Rita was in the studio.
Oh no.
That's what Anton was like.
She was.
Because the glow of this queen, it comes from a.
All right.
Right here tonight.
Come on, Lola. What's wrong with you?
Come on, little bro.
We got to get him right, man.
All right, let's go, Lalo. Let's go ahead and pull up the misses, okay? Absolutely.
Oh, that's what it is. So many people backstage. They want to chime in.
Oh man, no.
We got Yada and Anton going crazy.
They gotta be on camera.
7,000 people in the chat. Yeah, we're gonna bring them in.
Listen, ladies, no bonnets. I don't embarrass yourself. All right, respectfully. We got over 6,000 people back
please,
here.
let this be a bonnet-free zone.
Wow.
And
Shout
turn
out
off
to
the show in the
SBU.
back.
SBU said she moved to South Africa. Get your passports. Let me tell you.
Oh wait, I hear something in the back here, Lalo.
We
What's going
serious
on?
about. We absolutely accept that invite. We're gonna come see you and the husband. Shout out to the Daily Man.
Hold on. Everybody mute your stuff backstage. It was killing me just now. But go ahead.
Oh, I can't hear that. Shout out to the Daily Man says we're all walking red flags, each dragging our own dysfunction into relationships. The real test is seeing if we're compatible enough to face the mess together and walk through it side by side.
What's up with this man? There we go. What's up, Mrs.? How you doing?
Hey, my beautiful love.
Hold on, wait. You gotta unmute yourself. Unmute yourself real quick.
Come on, man. With all the money that you got, like you can't have your wife be struggle
I know
streaming.
how that Wi-Fi be. I was talking.
The house so
yesterday.
big.
Go to the West Wing. Better reception.
Y'all dude got a big crib, man. That's why I say, brother, get some money.
What's up with you?
Yes, baby. We can hear you.
I'm absolutely amazing. All I want to say is I have to represent because the glow of this queen, it comes from a great man. And a woman's not going to glow like this if she's not being loved by a great man. So just had to leave that right there.
There you go.
I wish we could see a little clearer, baby. I wish we could see the blessing with your beauty.
It's okay.
Y'all gotta get that. Y'all gotta get them fiber optics, y'all.
We know. I told him that. Hey, look, much.
Oh,
Hey,
the
my
whole fam.
beautiful baby.
That's beautiful.
Oh shit, he got 2 kids.
I love you. I love you.
There you go. Go ahead, Lano. Let's bring the family up.
550.
Big shout out to Yada and his fam. Let's go ahead and
Hey,
keep
my
the people
man.
rolling up.
All right, so that changed my number then. So she gets cashed out $550,000 like a year. Because remember, each kid is $150K like per year for her. So
Yeah, he kicking out some bread.
yeah, shit. All right, and
Yada better get that Wi-Fi upgraded. I agree with Gray Pill. He got like third world country Wi-Fi.
yeah, you can't be flexing hard like with your money and all the spinnings and your wife is struggle streaming. So that's not a good look, Yada, bro. You gotta take care of your wife, man. So take care of that Wi-Fi. Get Comcast, get something. Or Xfinity, or whatever you want to call it.
See who they pull up next. Yeah, I think after her, they start pulling up the crowd.
Yeah.
We gotta get out of here.
Big fan. Shout out to
Just
y'all.
pick them up. Just pick up a brother and let's go man, woman, just round robin that thing for a little bit, Lano. Man.
Oh, praise it.
Yeah, hey,
Praise it.
drop. There we go. This my brother Raymond.
Of course. Did y'all get my email?
Yeah, we got your email, man.
What's up? Hey,
I think Anton was probably in your email too.
And look, we're gonna start it off with you. Give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
Yeah, in a relationship, 27 years old, Raleigh, North Carolina. I took some notes, guys.
Give me who won and why.
First, I'm just going to say from a logical standpoint, Anton won on the behalf of having a mother who had kids before their father, having 3 sisters. I just want to commend Yada as well, just for being the voice for men, to be a cover for women as well. But I got to say that what he's saying is true. But when you're emphasizing money, like the $300,000 thing, most of the people who make $300,000 are rappers, athletes. We all know these to be the scumbags of the earth, the players. So if you're pushing women to that direction, you are inevitably hurting women and putting them in the wrong hands. And my father was a great man. He never made over $100,000. And like I said, he was with a woman who had 3 kids when they met. So really take that into consideration. And I know
that's your 30 seconds, brother, but go ahead and wrap it up.
Yeah, you got a great platform, Yada. I love your lifestyle. I love everything about it. If you want people to be the man,
okay, moving on.
More resources for men.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you, brother. Let's get to the next one, Lano. Let's go ahead and bring him up.
Oh, hold on. What? Okay.
Yo, she definitely going for Yada.
What's up, sister? How you living? Oh wait, she ain't ready, Lana. We gotta go to the next one. She gotta get ready. She over there. She floating. She floating right now.
There you go. What's up, sister?
What's up with you?
You doing?
What's your name, sweetheart?
Zakia.
Zakia, give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
I'm single. I'm 34, and I'm calling from Philly.
Philly in the building. Who won and why?
Philly in the I feel like Yada won.
Why is
Imagine that?
I just feel like I heard what Anton said as far as like with his audience, as far as a diverse spectrum. But
and to think, I was going to try to look for her IG. So she said that
woman, culturally, like our culture has been so just not in touch with the role of the male. And like what Yada was touching on as far as like, just with women, single mothers, we get this like stigma that, our value is, I guess we don't have a high value because we come with a package.
I think her 30 seconds has already been up now.
I just really don't agree.
Understood. Well, thank you so much, sister. Let's keep it rolling, Lano. Much love to you over there. Shout out to Philly.
Philly in the building.
Philly in the building. All right, Lano, keep it rolling, baby. Keep it rolling, baby. Look, we putting Lano to the test backstage right now.
Well, thank you so
What's
much,
up with you, sister? Oh, y'all got to turn off the show in the back. Y'all got to turn off the show.
Philly in the building.
Philly in the building.
Yeah, they got the echo thing.
This a lot right now, y'all. Listen, I got my little brother backstage.
See, you notice. See, when he's doing well, he's the producer of the show.
Right.
When he's not doing well, he's little brother.
He little brother. Matter of fact, he's the production assistant.
Right.
What's going on with you, Lano? For everybody, mute the show back.
Barrington, what's up, Barrington?
Barrington, you gotta mute your You gotta mute your joints, huh?
I'm mute. Barrington, you here?
Dropped him. God damn it, they need to be quicker with that drop button.
Barrington, damn.
There we go. Barrington, what's up, Barrington?
Lano, you gotta mute Barrington.
Okay, they got 50.
He listening through the TV. He listening through his YouTube.
It's
he's
done.
slow on it.
It's done. Y'all, listen, if you backstage on Zoom,
welcome back on spot.
Everything we got new technology now. Go ahead and close your laptop. You don't even look at that. You'll be able to watch the entire show on Zoom once you get on.
Don't know how to work no damn technology. What's up, Kendall? How you doing? Oh, y'all about to make me shut this down early.
Why are you in the dark?
This is why you can't really bring certain people up, man.
Yeah.
You, Kendall.
Yeah, I'm here. I just didn't want you all to hear me. Yes, I'm good.
So Kendall, listen.
Back there,
you can't be listening. Listen to the Zoom, okay? Don't listen to the YouTube. But give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
It's the echo, like, okay, hold on. It's the echo coming because, like,
because they must have a bunch of people like in a queue and they're listening to the YouTube and stuff instead of just like shutting it down.
But
so it's carrying that echo.
But I think the echo is actually coming from like their production studios. Like at this point,
Nah, because it just came when the people started coming up. So yeah, somebody got the tab open or something.
Hey, I need to learn how to shut that tab off, man.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Yeah.
I would have dropped all of them.
I'm ready, man. Get her. Get Kendall off here, man. I'm ready. We got one more initiate to go ahead and mess this thing up because y'all about to get this thing shut down tonight. All right, I'm gonna give one more person a chance. Let's get it right, Lano. We got Keisha. What up, Keisha?
She definitely going for Yada.
What's up, Keisha? Ready? Give me your age, your location, and your relationship status.
Hey, shout out to her hairline though.
From Atlanta. I'm in my 40s and I'm married.
Okay, Keisha's married. Keisha, look, who won tonight and why?
Yada, hands down.
Told you.
Okay, now tell me why. Tell me why.
Okay, Yada won because I agree with the way he says leadership comes from men. I agree that men should lead. I think that's why our community suffers a lot and we don't have marriages. If we say that we're not...
Y'all bitches don't want to do no work, man. That's the problem. Forgive me saying bros, man. Y'all bitches is something else, man. I'm sorry. But let's go ahead and continue.
Not listening to women and we're not hearkening to their voice, then the man has to step up and lead. And so I think Yada has it right.
For real, oh my God.
His family is proof positive of that. His life, what he shows, what he presents to us, he won. He understands the family structure, the divine, godly family structure. I agree with him.
There you have it. Well, thank you so much, sister. Yo, is it any brother backsstage that got their camera together?
Yeah, that's a good point. Great. Her husband probably he's probably filing paperwork. Like, I can't believe she said this shit.
So I'm only gonna get one more brother. Thank you so much, Keisha. Shout out to you, sister. Big shout out to you as well.
Appreciate it, Keisha.
We got a brother.
6,000 people in the chat.
We got 6,000 in the chat right now.
Value by God.
Value by God. Listen, if you're not this brother, mute your Zoom in the backstage. It's a whole meeting backstage with the family. What's up with you, brother? How you living, man?
What's poppin', man? It's Slimmy, yo. Shout out to the Bag Chasers. Shout out to Anton, obviously. He won. To me personally, he was cooking. He was very much holding it down for what he believes, what he stands in.
And hold on, brother. If you can't, give me your age, your location, and your relationship status as well.
44, I'm complete. I'm single.
There you go. Okay, and you say Anton won because
he stood on business, man. Like it's Anton. You know what I'm saying? This is what he believes. He stood on what he really talks. He walked what he talked, man. You know, I think Yada his spirit leads him to speak more to the feminine part of the conversation, and I think that's where Anton speaks to everybody. You know, and I think that's kind of like where the edge is. You know, so it resonates with more people. Also, I think Yada is a little bit he's not as well versed in the scripture, you know, and he kind of contradicted himself a couple times.
Slimmy, thank you so much for coming up on here and giving me your perspective. Hey, shout out to the brother over here representing, knowing how to work.
Appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Together, man. That was just awesome, man. Salute
Thank
to
you, Slimmy. Salute to you as well, brother. Shout out to you, man. Hey, Lana, we done with the hotline for the day, all right?
Yeah.
We done with the hotline for the day. But big shout out to everybody that's in here. We still got over 6,000 people in here. It was a ton of people in the chat.
Show.
I'm talking about the chat was crazy.
We could go ahead and start shutting it down. Yeah, I just wanted to see what they was talking about.
From both ends of,
but shout out to the Harley Initiated. Man, that was a good production, man. They did a good job, like structuring this, even the camera views, the boxes and stuff, man. So I'll definitely give them credit, man. Great conversation. Definitely. So even Yada, man. Like I said, I don't like tricks, but shout out to him for even, getting up on there and, giving his whole perspective.
Right. Shout out to
Anton definitely cooked him.
Yeah, I definitely will have to agree on that part because, like, again, like, I don't like people that would just like try to use like just the community like to try to pander like for their own personal gain. Like I felt like Yada didn't really have like no substance at all, and he's just like using certain individuals just to be paralyzed, like without even providing anything like in return. I'm not saying like everything always have to be like a 100% give and take, but at the same time, it's like if you're going to go out on someone, make sure that's the person that's willing to go out for you. But the message that he's actually like, you know, delivering, that's the part that I strongly disagree on. And then you have some of these people, right? Again, I'm going to reduce the B word, right? So anything that starts with a B, I'm going to try not to say it, right? Whether it be business, broke, whatever, right? Anyways, no, I'm playing now. But the point is that like, you don't want to kind of be in a situation, right, where you set yourself up for a financial failure. Or even for like, I wouldn't say financial failure, just don't be like in these type of relationships with someone that eventually that's going to like cheat on you for someone else, because now you're not being able to provide for their type of lifestyle that you already set them up for. And I think honestly, it's not even fair for like some of these women, because you're actually setting them up for failure like in the long run. Because you're giving them like these expectations that, hey, like, and I'm not saying like these people are not valuable, but at the same time, because I believe both men and women are equally valuable. But when you're overvaluing someone, now you're setting up with a mindset that's looking down on other type of individuals because they're not making a certain type of bracket that this person's providing. And God forbid, like if Yada ever decided, or if something was to happen to his resources, and now like things like break off, and the woman is left with like, you know, probably due to like poor spending or whatever. I'm just saying that in the worst case scenario. Now the woman is like, okay, she doesn't really have much to really, to really save up for, or you having someone else that's a good person, the next lineup, but because that person's not making Yada's money and he's not providing those type of resources for that woman like Yada would be doing, now it's like, okay, you're overlooking the good type of individuals. So that's why I'm kind of a little bit more like on Anton's side, at least on this point, because, and I'm not saying Anton's perfect and everything he's saying is right, but in this type of debate, right, he's really just narrowing down like, hey, man, this is what it is. You know, I'm giving you the reality of it.
Yeah, and like I said, just why I backed Anton, because a lot of the stuff you said, it's just like whenever somebody starts their, I'll say like debate or argument, their position on delusion, I don't see how you as a logical person could support that, because, you know, that just means that you're incapable yourself of like fact finding and applying common sense. So there's no way in hell, like just knowing what I know, I could support a Yada when it's just like you said, most people don't make 300,000. It's like 3%. So it's just like, just by numbers, you're not going to get that shit, most people. So it's just, it's dumb at the end of the day. And anybody that kind of, like I said, is waiting around for that, it just shows that you lack something upstairs to even fall behind his messaging. So it's just a bad position to start with. And like I said, he's pretty much doing, it's like, let me bash all these guys. And there's a lot of hardworking people. There's firefighters, there's police officers, school teachers. They're making, you know, probably no more than like 60,000. So are we looking at society as like, hey, those are not masculine people because they're, you know, they're not making all this money. So when your house burns down and stuff like that, I know you're not going to look down at them at that time. So it's just a bad argument to shit on people just because you made it to that next tier. Like I said, man, I'm in that tier that he's talking about, but I don't, you know, I was a man before I made the money. I was a masculine guy. So it's just like, man, with him, it's just like, so you're saying you weren't masculine until you made that amount? You know what I'm saying? You was just all over the place. So yeah, it's just a dumb argument to kind of shit on people and put himself at that top tier. But typically people that do that, they didn't put that work in other areas. Like I said, they weren't out there, you know, lifting weights or, you know, doing combat sports. So it's just like, they finally got the money. So it's just like, okay, I'm a one trick pony. Let me shit on everybody else and put myself up here. It's generic. It's cheap. and it's bullshit at the end of the day, and it just highlights his weakness.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. So, but yeah, man, like, look, other than that, man, thank you everybody for tuning in. Again, this was definitely like a great stream in my opinion. Like, most like just like most of the others as well too. So definitely tune in, especially like in our Toxic like Tuesdays lineup. He says, facts. I'm a 9 to 5 guy. My close friends are the 100K plus, and they don't think like yada. They still remember past struggles and building.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
Yeah, man. That's what it is, man. So again, man, I look, man, I just get like, fired when I hear people having like these weak ass like expectations, and they like to like kind of place like all like the burden like for the the men.
What? One thing I wish somebody would do is like, we review like those Jubilee videos and stuff, but man, they should get a room full of like the guys in these income brackets, and women need to listen to their expectations. Because that's the side that nobody ever kind of gets, because it's almost like the picture he's painting. Hey, go get you this guy that makes over between 200 or 300K. And women need to hear what these guys will have to say, because it's just like I was telling you before, like a lot of the dudes I'm around that making this type of money, they got high fucking expectations. They're not going to just throw their money at anybody like yada. So most guys in this range ain't just messing with anybody. So it's just like a lot of people might not even qualify for that. So I think that would be interesting if somebody got like a bunch of guys that made that type of bread, and then see what the type of standards and qualifications that they would have for women. And I think it would be very eye-opening, and a lot of people won't be making them lists when they hear that stuff. Because like I said, the dudes I'm around when we're talking, if you're not intelligent and you're like, you come in there with a mindset, I'm gonna use somebody, they getting you up out of there. They ain't even entertaining you.
Yeah, definitely. See, Jerk, good suggestion. Serious, email Jubilee. They will hear you out. Lately, they've been having goofies on there, like Pearl and Myron as well. Yeah. But okay. Well, look, man, we're going to go ahead and close out, man. So salute to everybody that tuned in. Thank you very much. And we appreciate you guys' time.
We'll be back to the bullshit next week. We just had to cover this debate. So Toxic Tuesdays, tune in. We turning up.
Yeah, definitely, for sure, man. And also, man, don't forget to tune in to like Sophisticated Jerks channel, like Man Sophistication, when we also have like our reviews and like our topics as well too. So
yeah, I dropped the recaps on Monday, so yeah, definitely check those out on that channel. We trying to do a lot of collaborations and stuff.
For sure.
And check out Gray Pill also. He be doing some great content. He's probably one of the few people that's very unbiased. I'm biased as shit. but Gray Pill's one of the few dudes I'll say is unbiased. So definitely check him out.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. And also check out On the Spot Live and
Wally too. Wally got a good channel. So yeah, we start plugging everybody.
Yeah, definitely for sure, man. So so definitely check out these channels out, man, because they always come and support us, man. Like and yeah, man. Whether if they like our opinions or not, but the support is always definitely real. So salute to the family that's out there. Thank you very much. And
Sugar Bum about to get we about to get Sugar Bum Hitch. She gonna be doing a 50-50 with a guy. She tune in, get this game.
Yeah. Let me see. Graber says, thank you. I need to clip the one when M3 put up on me.
Uh-oh. He gave you that work. Gray Pill gave you that work.
I don't know what he's talking about. Hands are free. I don't know what he's talking about, but yeah. But shout out to Gray Pill, man, as always, man. So we are definitely out, everybody. Peace out.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Later.